Wake up today. Wake up today. Start of the start of a new way. You know that the start of the end of the old day. Wake up today. Wake up it's a new day. Start of a new way. You know that the start of the end of the old day. It's a new day.
Welcome back. Welcome back to Morning Blend here on Guardian Radio 96.9. We are streaming live on GuardianTalkRadio.com and on the Guardian Radio app for smart devices. We're also on your televisions on Cable Bahamas Channel 969 and BTC Flow Channel 612. Once again, I'm Dwight Strawn. Joining me now, Stephen Hanna. Stephen Hanna, good morning.
Morning. How you doing?
Doing well. Great to have you with us. Hope you're doing well.
Mm-hmm.
Wow, you sound so meek and mild. Okay, wow. I'm sure it'll be a different story in an hour. Okay, but hey, that's how it is. That's how it is. Folks, you can join the conversation as well this morning. We'll give you the phone numbers to call in just a bit. You could also tweet us at morningblend969 or facebook.com/morningblend969. And you can text us on the Guardian Radio text line powered by BTC 422GR96. That's 4224796. Standard text rates apply. Coming up this morning, more weather and traffic. And in our 7 o'clock hour, we're going to begin a conversation with Dr. Marvin Smith. He is one of the region's leading pharmacists, and he's going to be here to answer your questions. We're going to allow you all to ask your questions, and we're hoping some of the folks who call in and say things that get some of us a little worked up, will you put them to the doctor? Let's hear what he has to say. You quote a lot of these people you don't know online. You Google these things and find a doctor from some obscure place and repeat what they say as if it's scripture, but you know nothing about them. But hey, today, ask your questions. Ask your questions to an expert, especially those questions about ivermectin that some of you. Yeah. So all of that this morning. That's coming up. And then we've got another drawing of the Bahamas COVID vaccination raffle. 2 more prizes, 2 more winners today. And later in Morning Blend Business, we're going to be talking to a leading real estate agent and a director with the Bahamas Real Estate Association about what happens next if the Prospect Ridge project falls through. What are young professionals who were hoping that this would be the answer to their home issues, that this was going to be the answer? What are they to do if you're in the market? What does this mean for you here in New Providence and elsewhere in the Bahamas? We're going to be getting into that this morning. So a lot to get to on this Friday morning, but let's begin with what else is in the news.
Yes.
And in the news, at the first press briefing, and Watson talked about the report for BPL that they have that we weren't given much information about previous administration. But the report is available apparently, and will soon be made available to the public. And but many were wondering what this would mean for the minister responsible for BPL, Alfred Sears, who represented the folks who were suing BPL. Got a lot of these little issues with some of the new cabinet. Sears, though, unlike some other folks, says he recognizes the conflict of interest and he knows what he needs to do. Take a listen to this report from our Jillian Gray.
We caught up with the works minister as he toured East Grand Bahama today, but he had very little to say on that BPL board report, as he says he hasn't seen it. Questions about the much anticipated probe into the shocking dismissal of Bahamas Power and Light's entire board reemerged on Wednesday after Press Secretary Clint Watson hinted that the findings were very interesting and had been submitted to the Minis administration in November 2020. Well, it turns out that report won't be reviewed by the new works minister.
Any report that would come to me would be sent to the Attorney General because clearly in that matter, I would be conflicted. I could not deliberate over a matter in which I was the lawyer outside of the government.
The report was completed by U.S.-based firm FTI Consulting. In 2018, then Prime Minister Dr. Hubert Minnis promised a probe into the drama that unfolded between BPL board members and Minister of Works Desmond Bannister. Bannister said at the time board members were at odds on almost every critical issue, a claim shot down by former Executive Chairman Nicole Osborne and two other members. They later filed legal action. Osborne was represented by Sears. It's for that reason the new minister says he won't be getting involved.
Matters in the hands of the Attorney General, and any issue that would come to me in my substantive position as Minister of Works, I would have to recuse myself.
Earlier this year, Minnis suggested he was unable to provide an update on the probe. It is unclear why it wasn't released following its completion almost 1 year ago. Now, we also spoke to the minister about board appointments. He says the government is currently finalizing those, and that should be complete within a matter of weeks. From Grand Bahama for our news.
Okay, that was our Jillian Gray.
Very dramatic end, but okay.
Okay. Hey, isn't that refreshing? Isn't that refreshing? Someone who actually recognizes a conflict and
You mean somebody who does their job the way it's supposed to be done?
yes, it's refreshing. It's absolutely refreshing. It's perhaps he might need to hold a class with some colleagues. And but this is what we talked about last week with Organization for Responsible Governance and how people should behave in situations like this, which will come up. They will come up. What are you to do? It's pretty simple. Recuse yourself. Put it on to somebody else because you're too close to a situation. But we others seem to not get it, whether unintentionally or intentionally. But it happens far too often.
You could only pray it's unintentional.
Right. Sometimes you wonder, though. Sometimes you wonder.
I mean, you know better, but you know.
Right, but I'm impressed, and I applaud Alfred Sears for that response there, and that is encouraging. What say you all about that? 323-6232, 325-4316, 325-4259. Give us a call. Tell us what you think about that and about this whole situation. And finally, will we see a resolution to this long-running issue? It's been going on so long. And what's in this very juicy report? What in God's name is in it?
Does it even matter? at this point?
Yeah, I think it does. Just because we repeat the same mistakes, it just keeps happening. And if we could document it and see, well, don't do this like this. For goodness sake, you're going down the same road as that time when that happened. You remember? And maybe that would help to.
And that's it. And it can't be policy. It has to be legislation because policy changes with everybody. So like it would have to be the end result of this is we put out legislation preventing whatever the debacle was. Because like at this point, I think the average person does not remember what even happened. They know something happened, but at the end of the day, they just put it inside that was probably politics category. And so if something is going to come out of this, it needs to be a level of legislation preventing whatever the debacle was.
Well, it would be good if we knew, because I think there was a lot more than what right? It got whittled down to something about extravagance and makeup, right?
That's what I'm saying.
Clearly,
So
there was more.
Maybe.
And it's got to be, my God, right? For everybody. Look, oh man, I mean, please, I hope you're more substantial beings than that. But yeah, so maybe the report will shed light into what really was going on. I think it was much deeper than that from what you hear, right? Real disagreements on the way forward for the corporation. And it'll be good to know where people stood on what and why that was so challenging for them to agree. But I hope it won't be much longer. It'll be better for all of us, including BPL, to know what needs not to happen anymore going forward. All right. Again, call us 323-6232, 325-4316. 325-4259. Tweet us, Facebook us, text us. We're getting some odd text messages here. I'm not sure what these are about. These are not related to anything we're talking about today. Is this for this show? I don't know what this text is. We blame the island-wide blackout on Brave. Huh? What now? Where? What?
There's an island-wide blackout?
Which island are you on? And when? What? Okay. Anyway, and then this, which we aren't talking about right now either, but didn't I guess is because of the vaccines, and we talked about this yesterday, but sure, didn't the health minister state that the previous administration forgot to order more vaccines? Yet PAHO rep stated that today's delivery is the fourth batch ordered and delivered. Why is Dr. Darville trying to mislead the public? Well, we don't know what that was about. Again, we talked about that in depth yesterday, but we got some information, some maybe bad information. We don't know. But the former prime minister issued a statement trying to clear that up as well.
This is why there's a press
secretary now.
Yeah, to make sure that you don't misspeak in public or whatever.
Right.
But you know what? Don't be afraid to talk to us.
Well, yeah, and hopefully we'll find out more about what that was about. That can't just be out of thin air. There must be something to it. Oh my God, right?
Let that dream go.
But we'll see. Okay. Yeah. So that's going on. You can call us about that, or continue to text us, tweet us, Facebook about that. All right. So the other interesting story, which we talked about quite a bit yesterday, after Hiram Lewis announced that he is going to be running for leader of the FNM.
Why?
Others now. Why did we talk about it, or why?
No, why?
Why is he doing it?
Yeah. Just because you survive doesn't mean that you're necessarily going to be a good leader.
Well, if you're one of the few standing, maybe that's why you're thinking. Well, that's the same thing you're saying. But
that's how we ended up with Menace.
That is right. Many do believe that it works better for the party if the leader is in the House of Assembly.
Oh, I don't have an issue with the leader being in the House of Assembly. I'm just saying, just because you survive doesn't mean that you'd make a good leader. And
hey, man,
and the person who is going to be the leader of the FNM has a very strong chance of being the next prime minister, because that's apparently how these things work. Right now, Brave could be the first two-term prime minister in decades. That is a possibility. Things could go on the up. The economy could rebound worldwide. Everything could change, right? But looking at trends, the next F&M leader is probably going to be the next prime minister. Just because you made it through, because you live in a stronghold constituency or the people forgot to vote that day or whatever reason, does not mean that you are a good choice for a leader.
But you can't knock the man's dreams.
Yes,
right?
you can. Because here's the thing. The reason why I say that, now here's the thing. I could be wrong. And I'm sure that all of the Iramites will call in and defend them, and that's fine.
I don't think there are such things.
Well, that's another problem then. But here's the issue that I hold. All right. I don't like people, anybody who desires power, you got to look at them twice over. You know what I mean? It's like, what is your ambition? What is the reason that you want to do this thing? Is it that you feel like something must be accomplished? Is it that you feel like no one else is there who can do it? Or is it because as a child you wasn't hugged enough, and the only way for you to get that affirmation that you needed is to gain some great power that everybody can look at you and say, yeah, you made it.
Wow, that's rough. Okay.
I'm not suggesting any of those. I don't know which one it is.
Mm-hmm.
But I know that politics is full of people on both sides who feel like God called them to be prime minister of the country and they just waiting their turn.
Mm-hmm.
Right? And
we
know people
that's rough.
On both sides. I'm just saying, when you announce these things, come with your portfolio.
Now that's what I was going to say, right? So instead of just you have a feeling that you want to do this, right? This is what we see in other parts of the world all over, where these folks who want to be leader, they've got books, they've got things that they've done to show you this is where they see the world going and where they see the country going.
Automatically shut up a person like Stephen. Do that. That is all I ask. And the reason I say that is, and then don't bring, this person has this thing that's unrelated to leadership or running a country. They're a businessman. He have 3 liquor stores, or this person is a doctor of something, because everybody in parliament is either a doctor or a lawyer. Only now we finally have other occupations inside parliament. So it's like those
always had others, but predominantly doctors and lawyers.
Yeah. So it's like those things don't move me. The fact that you spent almost 15 years studying neurosurgery is great, but that doesn't mean that you understand how society works. You know what I mean? So it's like, bring me your portfolio.
Let's put this out there again, because I know we've said it before, but let's do this. Folks, if you want to be leader of this country, please write a book, write some books, write something. We'd appreciate that. Let's see who you are. Let's learn who you really are.
You know what? I don't even know if the book is as a, I mean, I get what you're saying, and that makes sense.
Better than what we're doing here.
It's better than nothing, particularly, right? But
Which is what we're doing here.
And honestly, if you say you need to write a book, I mean, that out of the 7 of them, there's one person that we know has written books. But I feel like you also need to bring more to the table than just doing that check mark, because they will start writing stupid memoirs just to fulfill that, and then everybody will be like,
I love to see them try.
It's not that hard.
That would be okay.
It's not that hard. They could churn that out in a month.
Well, let's keep them busy. That'll be something. Let's see.
It wouldn't even stop them from before the convention. They could be selling the book on the convention floor. I need,
but more than about your ideas.
Right. That's what I need. I need to hear
your vision.
Convince me that you're a visionary person. Show me that the times when you were in positions of power, what you did, how you revolutionized it, how it didn't become a cesspool of corruption. Show me that stuff. right?
No romance novels. No, yeah, we're not talking
Too
about that.
late.
We're talking about, as you say, a vision statement, something about where you see the country going, the potential, and your worldview. Those things.
Right.
Those things. Not where you grew up and how you used to be barefoot on this street back in whatever. No, not that. I mean,
You mean like
that might-
everyone?
that might influence your worldview, but if you want some background on where we're going in your book,
Dwight,
but
if
something
you were
more
born at a certain age, then you were walking barefoot at a certain point. That's just a fact. Like anybody who was born remotely around the 60s would have been walking barefoot somewhere. That doesn't mean anything.
Mhm. All right. So we're going to get to who else is saying they may be interested in leadership. But let's hear what this caller has to say. You can call in as well. Again, we gave you the numbers 323-6232, 325-4316, 325-4259. Tweet us, Facebook us, text us, 422-4796. Good morning, caller. You're on the air. Hi. Good morning, caller.
How are you doing, Dwight?
Doing well.
Okay, this is not on the topic, but this is a concern of myself and everyone in the neighborhood. Our electricity went off yesterday from 6 o'clock p.m. We had a thunder and lightning storm. And BPL has yet to turn on the electricity in our neighborhood.
Which area are you in?
This is the Paul Track, Swan Street, where Batelco is located.
Oh, wow.
And we've called the emergency outage number on numerous occasions.
Mm-hmm.
And talking with the automated machine, and no one and nothing has happened yet. And this is ridiculous.
Wow, that is. Can you tell how widespread it is? Have you been out to see how far?
I have been around. It's just in our
It's
neighborhood.
just for street. Okay.
Yeah, in our area.
All right. Let me get some messages out to BPL. And see
Please, I really appreciate it. This is ridiculous. From 6 o'clock p.m.
Yeah, that's very rough. Wow. Okay. All right. Boy, thanks a lot. Thanks for calling.
Thank you.
What's going on? Yeah, that's. See, this is the same thing we said. Was it yesterday when we were talking to Quincy Parker? How whenever we say these things of congratulations to BPL, something crazy happens. It's just wild. So, all right. So this is getting back to the leadership issue in the FNM. So now St. Barnabas MP Shandon Cartwright says that he's giving it serious consideration to running for one of the leadership positions. One. Which one? Take a listen to this report from our Berthany McDermott.
The Central Grand Bahama MP is the first to announce plans to run for leader of the Free National Movement at the party's convention on November 27th. Iram Lewis believes he's the right man to rebuild the FNM and reconnect with the party's base. He said while the FNM's ideals haven't changed, he believes the party went off track.
We would have lost contact, or there's certainly a certain level of disconnect from our base, as is evident over the last election, September 16th.
When asked why he thinks the party lost the election, Lewis chalked it up to voter apathy. Following its defeat, the FNM announced that Dr. Hubert Minnis will remain on as leader of the official opposition until the party's convention, when a new leader is expected to be elected. Lewis says, based on his discussions with Dr. Minnis, he's expecting him to step down.
Based on his discussion with me at the parliamentary caucus, he requested support going into parliament as a leader of the opposition, and I respected his position. He said, I will defend my policy, the policy that we made, and as prime minister, I will speak to all of the decisions that we made. I'm not afraid to stay around and take my blows because it will be coming. I would like for you all to support me. I pledge my support up to the point of the party's convention in November. So I have no reasons to believe that he will go back on his word.
Lewis said he would like the former prime minister's endorsement, adding he believes he has support within the party.
Oh, absolutely. I do have the support. I do believe in my team. I do believe that we have what it takes to lead the party. We believe in our system. The message is going to be clear. We will get the party back on track.
Lewis, who served as Minister of Youth, Sports and Culture under the Minnis administration, is one of 7 FNM members of Parliament. Reporting for the Guardian News Network, I'm Berthany McDermott.
Okay, that's not the right report, producer. I need you to play the one from yesterday, with Shandon Carter. So we'll get that in a second. Let's take this call while we get the right report together. Good morning, caller. You are on the air. Nope. Okay, call us back. 323-6232 325-4316 325
At this rate, we're gonna have a 7-way race.
You think so?
Yeah, that's 3. That's 3 people.
Who's the third?
Didn't Nguyen say? Oh no, he's not in. Never mind. Sorry.
He hasn't said yet whether he's
Yeah. Okay.
But
he's ready.
but it is expected that he will be. Yeah. So
it's better now.
It's still early. It's still
now
early.
than ever.
It's still early, so we'll see. We're all well. We will see what happens on Sunday when Minutes says he will make some sort of announcement. I do again hope he can finally explain why he called an early election, but yeah, he's supposed to make some announcement on Sunday at church. Yeah. Well, they need to keep asking him every time he calls somebody over. What were you about to answer the question about why you called the early election? Because you said you're going to let it be known to us soon enough. Oh boy, 323-6232 325-4316 325-4259. Tweet us, Facebook us, text us. All right. So let me read from the paper. Oh yeah, let's take this call then. Okay. Good morning, call. You're on the air.
Yes. Good morning, Blend. Everybody well?
Doing well.
Yeah. You know, I think your host is your guest is right. You know, just because you're able to win your seat doesn't mean that you have leadership.
No. Just because you didn't lose your seat, it's a difference.
I got that. Thank you. Thank you very much. Well, I also feel as though that a leader or someone who's aspiring to be a leader should be someone drawn out from his community instead of someone trying to be injected in to a community. Because if you come from the community, chances are when you go back, you will look just like the person you came from. But give you a good example. When you look at this cycle of necessity that we are caught up in, you know, the sun has the ability to draw water and form clouds. Well, you know, when that falls back, that comes right back as water. So we'd like to see this person who is drawn out from us and carry all of our aspirations and desires and wishes up. And when he comes back down, there you go. Thanks for taking my call.
I really need to stop looking for messiahs, babe.
Oh boy. Okay, so this is the story in the Guardian today from our Travis Cartwright Carroll. So St. Barnabas MP Shannon Cartwright says that he is giving serious consideration to running for one of the leadership roles in the FNM, but would not say if he is considering a run for leader during the party's convention next month. He said people have told him that they are willing to support him in a leadership position in the party. The party will hold a one-day convention on November 27th to elect a new leader. But in February next year, the party will hold a full convention where all positions will be contested. When asked if he intends to run for leader during the November convention, Cartwright said, quote, "I've always been someone who has been dedicated to service to the Bahamian people and service to the people of St. Barnabas. Anytime that there is a loss for a political party, there's always conversations about renewal and transition. That renewal and transition takes on a certain form that the Free National Movement has started, where they will hear from members of the Free National Movement about what happens going forward. We are at the beginning of that process. Like many others, I'm listening to persons in my constituency, the constituency association, as well as having meaningful dialogue about where they would like me to serve in whatever capacity that would be. So serious considerations are being made by many, including myself. But again, this is the beginning of the process." Now, pressed on the matter, he said, quote, "Serious considerations are being made relative to where members of my party, members of my association, and of course my family would like me to serve." Okay. So Cartwright, of course, is one of the 7 FNM MPs to win their seats in the election, the general election. The POP won the remaining 32. Cartwright securing 1,420 votes, while the PLP's Michael Halkitis got 1,309. All right. So That's one. People have been calling in and saying his name quite a bit. Shannon Don Cartwright. Others have been saying Michael Helkidas. Sorry, wow, Michael Pintard. Michael Pintard. Same Barnabas on the mind. Michael Pintard. And of course, we heard Hiram Lewis. And then, as you mentioned, Dwayne Sands, possibly even Hubert Minnis. My goodness. Okay. So let's go to the report so you can hear. There's more in there that I want you to listen to. We hope this is the right one this time. Good morning. Let's go to the report from our Brittany McDermott.
One day after Central Grand Bahama MP Hiram Lewis announced he will run for leader of the Free National Movement, another FNM MP revealed he is also contemplating a leadership bid. St. Barnabas MP Shannon Don Cartwright suggesting he is seriously considering a leadership bid at the Free National Movement's convention next month. Before he makes a final decision on whether to throw his hat into the ring, Cartwright said he is currently consulting with those closest to him.
Listening to persons in my constituency, the constituency association, as well as having meaningful dialogue about where they would like me to serve in whatever capacity that may be. And so serious considerations are being made by many, including myself. But again, this is the beginning of the process.
On the heels of its overwhelming loss at the polls last month, the FNM will hold a convention on November 27 to elect a new leader. Cartwright, who first won the St. Barnabas seat in 2017, was one of the few FNM incumbents to be re-elected on September 16. He served as chairman of the Public Parks and Public Beaches Authority under the Minnis administration. Heading into the one-day convention, he said the party must assess where it is now and chart the way forward.
And that process is being facilitated right now. I think that you always have to assess and evaluate going forward what the Bahamian people wants from your political party, particularly after a loss in a general election.
On Wednesday, Central Grand Bahama MP Hiram Lewis announced his plan to run for FNM leader. It is rumored that Marco City MP Michael Pintard may do the same. FNM leader Dr. Hubert Minnis has dodged questions about another leadership bid, but he suggested that will be revealed at the party's anniversary church service on Sunday.
Dr. Minnis has said that he intends to be an integral part of a possible transition and renewal, again, however that looks. So I can only opine on what Dr. Minnis has said. And if anything changes, I can definitely offer a strong opinion relative to that, if that should happen.
We also asked political newcomer, Sinan's MP Adrian White, who he will support in the leadership race. To that, he shied away from giving a direct response.
I would support the person in my mind is the best one to lead the party going forward from where we are right now. And that may be Dr. Minnis, that may be Hiram Lewis, who recently indicated his leadership bid, and that may be at one or two others of our existing MPs. And it could even be someone that's not a member of parliament. But ideally, the leader of the party will be a member sitting in the House of Assembly.
State Public Service Minister Pia Glover Rule revealed that the review of those public service promotions are about 50% complete.
That's our Brittany McDermott with that report there. Interesting comments from Adrian White. He's saying that the leader should be in the House. Okay, well, that definitely limits who and, of course, who can be the leader.
Certainly not him, right?
Well, yes, he's in the House, but certain other people.
Everything in there. A lot of things are in the House.
Wow. All right. What do you make of that, folks? Let's go to the phone lines. Good morning, caller on the air.
Good morning, Mr. Schin. How you doing, sir?
Doing well.
Good morning, Stephen. How you doing, sir?
I'm good.
Okay, good. Strong and Mr. Hunter, I don't think anyone in the House of Assembly, in the opposition should speak besides Adrian White right now, you know. The reason why I'm saying that, because when Mr. Mark Alpine was busy telling them that, boy, we running down the wrong road, we doing everything we say we won't do. All the rest of those was man, they was throwing him under the bus and laughing and giggling at him. All those fellas who there right now, they lucky they are where they are. They don't want to be leader. Come on, man. Everyone knows that Dr. Minnis playing games right now because he don't want Dwayne Sands in there right now. Hello?
Yeah, we're listening. We're listening.
If I am wrong, I will apologize and say I'm wrong. But everyone knows Dr. Miller is just playing games with this thing. Everyone knows he Mr. Culmer that throw his hat in the ring, say, he nominate Dr. Miller. And that could be it right there. That's it right there.
No.
They playing games with the game and people.
I mean, you
Not
think
Carl.
the party would be that silly to reconsider this? I mean, this wasn't like the other losses that previous prime ministers saw. This was a different.
Carl Culmer don't have no one to support him but Dr. Miller. No one else. No one else to support him but Dr. Miller. So if Dr. Miller stay, he stay. If the Dr. Millers go, he gotta go. They playing games with people. And if they keep Dr. Miller, well, you know, it's a shoe-in for Brave Davis again. It's a shoe-in.
You know,
Well, people were saying that about
him and Brave,
right? And that if Brave wins, if Brave is the leader, it's 2 terms for Dr. Miss.
And then before that, they were saying the same thing with Perry Christie and Menace. It was like, well, if Menace is the leader of the FNM, the FNM can't win. So
yeah. So it stranger things are happening. They are happening all the time. Okay, let's take this call. Good morning, call. You're on the air.
Good morning. How are you?
Doing well.
Well, to the other, I just want to say to that caller who just called in, right? I don't know if he was on Facebook during the election, but Brave Davis and Hubert Ingram are friends from in church. And then this thing about this young guy, Davis, in the constituency there downtown, Peter Street and all that. We know there are younger people who's brilliant. I'm brilliant. I was brilliant at his age. But come on. We need a fresh set of people. I myself voted DNA. But I'm as proud of my lawyer who is Brave Davis. You know which age? I put $200 in his hand to become my lawyer. 17. And I had to lie to another great man just to get out of my Don's door to be his messenger. Now, when I became 18, I was already a messenger. Okay? And then that was a couple of weeks before my birthday. But what I want to say is, come on. We need a fresh government. These are people marrying intertwined families, PLP and FNF. You can put all the riches in these people are and do not bring in a fresh government. That's always happens at election. You put the same people in, you sit down, yap, and talk all this stupidness. And nothing is done.
Okay. All right. Thank you very much. I hear you. Interesting call there. Okay. Let me get this message out to you. For the power outages, BPL is telling us that, well, at least per Paul track, there is a crew on site and they're working on this. And then we got a message about Dignity Gardens, the power being off as well since late last night, and that a crew is en route. Okay, so they say they are working on it. So hopefully it'll all be resolved shortly. Let's take this call, and then we've got to take a break. Good morning, caller. You're on the air.
Hey, morning, Dwight.
Hi, good morning.
Ewan. Yeah, this is the first to say. And Alfred Sayers was fired for the position of MD in his constituency. And I really told him on my talk show. I tell him it is brilliant. He need to stay home, mind grandchildren, and send his as a consultant. But I want to be the voice to apologize to the running on national radio and tell him I really commend him for the intake and that more MPs should follow suit and be like that. And as well, I want to commend Jomo Campbell, Minister Jomo Campbell. Jomo Campbell's phone was on prior to the election. His phone is still on after election. And I know personally that Minister Jomo Campbell is on the ground in his constituency helping his handicapped constituent. I would love to commend them. And Shannon Dawn is a born leader. Y'all can't hear it. Thanks for taking my call.
Okay. All right. Thank you very much. Hey,
When
we
people
will
say
see.
you could hear it, anyway, whatever, it doesn't matter. You know what? Go with God.
They feel it in their bones, Steve.
Yeah, You
All
know
right.
who else felt it in their bones? 1930s Germany.
Okay. I don't know why you would break that up. We were talking
Because
about
it is very
good,
easy to be
decent,
moved
good,
by
decent
words.
people here.
These people are
No.
the voice
Mhm.
of the people is not
Okay.
the voice of God. It is the voice of madness.
Wow. I don't think that's necessary here.
That's
when
the
we talk about
saying. The
this.
saying is
I know, but
the saying
that's
is not
to bring that up at this
ended
time.
where it is. The
No.
saying is often.
It's not helpful. In
You've
any
heard
way,
it
shape, or
said,
form.
the voice of the people is the voice of God, but it is often the voice of madness.
Yeah.
All right. And it's like,
Okay.
stop being drawn in by people just because they sound good. But you know what? I'm getting caught off guard. He may
Perhaps.
be a wonderful person. All I'm asking for is bring some sort of portfolio.
Yes. We've got a lot of great text messages in response to what we've been talking about. We'll get to those after the break. Let's go to the break and then be back. This is Morning Blend on a Friday morning, finally Friday, here on Guardian Radio 96.9. Stay with us.
What up, Soccer Aerobics with this shot. I run near the Dragonaires coming at your hands. Bring the horns. Get ready to have a little fun. Get ready to follow instructions. Go! Follow the leader, follow the leader. Follow the leader, follow the leader. Hands up. Down. Hands up. Down. Faster. Up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down. Follow the leader, follow the leader. Follow the leader, follow the leader. Now everybody, put one hand in the air. Put one hand in the air. And we're going to wait from left to right. Yeah. Left, right. What? Left, right. Faster. Left, right, left, right, left, right, left, right. Follow the leader, follow the leader. 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 No clap and wave. Clap and wave.
This is Guardian Radio 96.9 FM, Nassau, Bahamas.
This is AP News. I'm Rita Foley. A tragic incident involving actor Alec Baldwin, who fired a prop gun while making a movie western in New Mexico, say authorities, killing the cinematographer and wounding the director, they say. Alec Baldwin's spokesman says this was an accidental misfire. An investigation's underway. The AP's Oscar Wells Gabriel.
What was supposed to be a routine day of filming for the Western movie Rust has turned tragic. The movie's director of photography is dead, and director Joel Souza was injured when they were shot by a prop gun discharged by actor Alec Baldwin. It's unclear how the incident occurred. Authorities near Santa Fe are investigating. The photo director, identified as Hala Hutchins, was airlifted to a hospital where she died. Souza was taken to the ER at another hospital. Local news reports say Baldwin was seen at the sheriff's office in tears, but reporters were unable to elicit a comment from him. Baldwin is listed as both star and producer of the movie. Production on it has been shut down. I'm Oscar Wells Gabriel.
The CDC has signed off on COVID boosters. There are still restrictions on who qualifies for a booster and when. The AP's Mike Hempen with the bottom line.
Millions of Americans could be closer to getting a COVID-19 vaccine booster shot. A Centers for Disease Control panel endorsed extra doses of all 3 U.S. vaccines and said people can pick a different brand than their previous shot.
We still don't know how he died, but the FBI is confirming that Brian Laundrie's remains have been found in a Florida nature preserve. He was a person of interest in the death of girlfriend Gabby Petito. They'd been on a cross-country trip. Alabama executed Willie B. Smith III last night for killing a woman he kidnapped from an ATM, robbed, then took to a cemetery and shot dead. This is AP News. China's got a warning for the U.S., the AP's Karen Shamas reports.
In response to President Biden's comments on Taiwan, China has said there is no room for compromise on the subject. President Biden had commented that the US will defend Taiwan if attacked by China. China's response was unwavering, as Foreign Ministry spokesman Wang Weibin said no concessions will be given over the issue. He reasserted China's long-standing claim that the island is its territory. Wang went on to say that the Taiwan issue was an internal affair of China that allows no foreign intervention. I'm Karen Chamas.
The world's biggest Triceratops skeleton has sold at auction for almost $8 million. The skeleton is more than 66 million years old. It was found in South Dakota in 2014. The dinosaur died in an ancient floodplain on what was then an island continent. I'm Rita Foley, AP News.
7:32 the time. Time for your morning blend traffic alert, brought to you by RBC Royal Bank. In your real-time traffic this morning, we've got Milo Butler Highway seeing some heavy traffic just north of Fire Trail in the northbound lanes to Tonic Williams Darling Highway. Glassroad also busy for you about midway between Fire Trail and John F. Kennedy Drive in the northbound lanes for you this morning. Elsewhere, we're seeing traffic along Tonic Williams Darling Highway eastbound to the roundabout with Blue Hill Road. That's unusual at this hour to see that going that direction, but keep that in mind if you are there. And the traffic northbound on Blue Hill not looking so bad this morning north of Soldier Road. Further down, there's building traffic as you approach Carmichael Road on Blue Hill Road if you're in the northbound lane. And elsewhere, not looking so bad so far. Just at the major intersections, you'll be seeing some traffic in front of you. So like East-West Highway and Robbins Road, Marathon Road, there you'll be seeing some cars queuing up, but not looking so bad so far. We'll have another real-time report for you after the 8 o'clock news. That's your morning blend traffic alert, brought to you by RBC Royal Bank, banking reimagined. And it's 7:34, time for another check of your weather for today. We've got the combination of low to mid-level troughing coupled with a moist, unstable air mass over the islands. That's going to maintain a wet pattern across the country through tonight. For all areas today, look for cloudy conditions with occasionally overcast periods, warm and a bit breezy with scattered to widespread showers and isolated thunderstorms through tonight. Showers may be locally heavy and thunderstorms strong to severe at times. Boaters should be alert for water spouts, and residents in low-lying and flood-prone areas should take special precautions during heavy and prolonged rainfall events. Temperature-wise, today, look for highs getting to around 84 Fahrenheit, 29 Celsius. Overnight lows tonight getting down to about 73 Fahrenheit, 23 Celsius. As we are expecting a wet afternoon today. In your extended outlook for the weekend, surface troughing and moisture will continue to support unsettled weather across all areas Saturday. Meanwhile, ridge will build in from the east, shifting the majority of the weather across the northern islands by Sunday. So for tomorrow, Saturday, that will mean mostly cloudy to overcast and warm conditions with widespread showers and isolated thunderstorms, some becoming strong and heavy at times. And Sunday, mostly cloudy to overcast, warm and breezy conditions again, with scattered showers and isolated thunderstorms in the northwest Bahamas. Variably cloudy, hot and humid, with isolated showers and a few isolated thunderstorms in the central and southeast Bahamas. The tropics are quiet. Tropical cyclone formation not expected in the next 5 days. That's your Morning Blend weather check. We'll be back with more Morning Blend after these messages here on Guardian Radio 96.9.
Unlock your home potential with a home equity loan from RBC and let your greatest asset fund your home improvement and personal projects. Switch your mortgage to RBC today and experience the difference with no management fees, cash back on closing costs, and step-by-step guidance from our team of expert mobile mortgage finance specialists. Learn more at rbc.com/Caribbean/equity loan. Reimagine new ways to bank better with RBC.
Hurricane season is here. If you're not prepared, it can really turn your life upside down. Fortunately, there's CG Atlantic General. Our people are here ready to assist at a moment's notice with protection like alternative accommodation for those who are displaced due to a storm. It's our priority to make sure you have what you need when you need it most. So when your life gets turned upside down, we can help to turn it around. CG Atlantic General. Good like that. Security and General Insurance Company Limited, trading as CG Atlantic General. Contact a CG Atlantic General broker today.
When engaging in physical activity, it is normal for the body to get tired and fatigued. In the same way, COVID-19 has brought on fatigue, but we must not give up the fight. Wear your mask over your mouth and nose, stay at least 3 feet apart from others, wash and sanitize your hands often, and avoid touching your face. Together, we will win.
This message is brought to you by the PAHO WHO Bahamas and Turks and Caicos Country Office, the Ministry of Health, and the Healthy Bahamas Coalition.
If you like Frito-Lay chips like Ruffles, Doritos, Cheetos Smart Food Popcorn, and Funyuns, you're gonna love getting a chance to win great instant prizes this Saturday, October 23rd at Extra Value Nassau Village. Join the Frito-Lay Island Wholesale Team between 12 and 3 this Saturday. Make a qualifying purchase of any Frito-Lay's chips or Smart Food Popcorn, and you get a chance to spin and win great instant prizes. And don't forget to put your contact info on your receipt and drop it in the promo box at participating locations for a chance to win bicycles and hoverboards in the grand prize drawing November 27th. Frito-Lay chips, distributed by Island Wholesale.
You have a new text message from Scotia.
Scotiabank is adding text messaging to its communication channels to keep customers updated in quicker and safer ways. As of November 4th, Scotiabank will be using text messaging to provide notifications on the minimum payment required for your credit card and due dates. Customers may continue to access their credit card statements on Scotia Online or through our mobile banking app. Learn more by contacting customer care-bahamas at scotiabank.com or call 356-1697.
Tired of banks forcing you to use technology to bank the way they want you to? Your convenience is important. So no matter what your banking needs, Commonwealth Bank's friendly staff are always available in branch for that personal one-on-one service. But when you choose technology, our online and mobile banking app offers you state-of-the-art functionality. The choice is yours. Commonwealth Bank. Bank the way you want.
This is Guardian Radio 96.9 FM. Fresh news, smart talk, all day.
Well, it's not beyond. The stars is in the place that we come in with power. All hands in the air.
Wrap this up. Ain't no more working today. Close up shop. Everything else got away. Let's drink up. I can't wait to hit the floor. Play me some music. That's all I came for. Let the rhythm take you over, don't be shy. Forget my head to dance away the night. Doesn't matter where we go, it's up to you to it.
All my party people drinking rum, as we have been.
We are back here with Morning Blend on Guardian Radio 96.9. Coming up in a few minutes, we're going to be talking with Dr. Marvin Smith, and he's going to be answering your questions. Steve and I are going to facilitate today. I think we may, have one or two, but it's just for you today, because you many of you like to come on the show with your information that you Googled. But yeah.
I said I forgot the mic was off. Yeah.
Oh, and but Dr. Smith will put it in context today.
Will
That's
they
coming in
believe
just a
him,
few
though?
minutes. Well, hey.
There's this thing called confirmation bias, right? Where the thing that you already believe, like no matter what, like you're gonna find ways to prove that that makes sense. So it's like, honestly, I feel like some of it just has to be like, you just gotta, we're gonna have to stop fighting people on it. Just put out the information, and then when they say X, Y, and Z, say, well, that's what you believe.
Mm-hmm.
However, that is not what we
could do that,
have
but
come
they
to.
don't do that. They won't stop harassing people who are promoting vaccines and accusing people of
The
having
only thing
being
that
paid off or something.
You know what should probably happen is we should, because I remember very early on during the pandemic, there were people saying on Facebook all over the place saying, does anybody know anybody who died from COVID? And then when people started saying, hey, my Grammy died, or my brother died, or my cousin died, or whatever, that was when they started to rethink their argument or whatever. So perhaps what we should do is, instead of trying to convince these people of something that isn't, or something is, or whatever, instead of us trying to convince them of what we're trying to convince them, just for the other people who are open-minded, maybe we should bring on persons who have recovered from COVID, persons who had family members who died from COVID, talk about whether or not they would have taken the vaccine, their thoughts on the vaccine post those experiences.
No, that's been happening.
No, I'm saying we
and
should
they
have
still
more of
don't.
those conversations, because the thing is, they're not going to believe a doctor.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Well, that's crazy. They believe
Because they are
they're
crazy.
quoting. But anyway, let's not dwell on that right now. We're gonna get into that in a few minutes. But
if
they
he converts
believe
one of them, I will be genuinely surprised, because they're not coming from a position of, it's not logic, it's feeling and emotion. And so it's like, if we must appeal to that, then let us appeal to that genuinely. Let us show you examples of persons who have felt this loss and where they're coming from, as opposed to a person who you already was a social hermit anyway, because you ain't got no friends. That's why you call it.
We don't have to go down that road
30 times a day.
But
nothing
that's
else
been
to do.
happening, and it changes nothing. So I don't know. They come with their stories about how they had it and they took ivermectin and they're fine in 2 days. So
On this radio station.
Yep. All right. So let's get to these messages before we get to that. This message here, read my text. I paid for it, and it's not R-rated. Okay. Those aren't the only reasons why I don't read some of your silly messages. But anyway, the person says here, nothing is juice in the report. It's just Clint being dramatic. I'm editing there. Okay. This is the BPL report they're talking about. I don't know. We will see. And how do you know? Are you part of this? You one of the people keeping it from us? Is that how you know this? Another person says here, bottom line, this is back to this. The media seems to be giving Darville a pass. He lied to the baby people, and there's nothing more to it than that. Well, we don't know, and the media's not giving anybody a pass. That just happened a couple days ago, right? And that will need to be explained, where he got that information from, right? This person says, Dwight, show me a book that Brave Davis wrote. Okay,
you got it.
We just keep on doing the way we're doing it. That's all. You're happy with that? That's what you're saying? We're saying we need to improve and elevate our standards, and it would be good if we knew more about the people who are running for office here, what they stood for, what they really believe.
You know, we're not going to read that book, though.
Now, maybe you won't, but some of us will.
Okay.
Perhaps. Alfred Sears has written books.
Right. Colin Archer has written tons of books.
I'm talking about politicians.
I'm talking about people who write books in general that are interesting.
But anyway, okay. This one says here, this is Dignity Guard, so hopefully they're going to get that sorted out for you. This one says here, does Mr. Lewis really think an endorsement by Dr. Minnis would be helpful? He should try to distance himself, or he has to be loyal because of how he benefited from Minnis. This one here says, we need to erase from our minds that leadership eligibility is winning a seat. Think of it Who won their seat? MPs in easy constituencies. You could be a strong leader in an easy constituency, but being in an easy constituency does not make you a strong leader. Just ask one question. Which of them stood up and questioned at least one crazy thing that Minnis did? That's the first leadership criteria. It might identify all of the sitting MPs as followers.
Perhaps.
This text here talking about people who come on the show from these companies that are getting worse and worse and worse. I'm not going to name them, but they're saying things are getting worse. Things are challenging. Let's all agree. We can all agree on that one. Things are challenging.
We don't know what you're talking about, Dwight. Could you elucidate?
No, that's all right. But you know. Anyway, another one here. Whatever the F&M needs to do to make Minnis resign his seat, they need to. Then they need to let Dwayne Sands run in Killarney so that he can be an MP and run for leader. He is the one person who I feel is most qualified to lead the party and make them strong and credible again. Well, let me tell you something. If they have a by-election now, Killarney will become a PLP seat. I'd bet money on it. So I don't know if that's a good idea. We wait a couple of years when people start to be less satisfied with the new government,
or
then
despondent.
you might be able, then you might be able to. But that would be very, very risky as calling a snap election. I don't know.
More risky.
Well, that's a strange area, but it's like St. Anne's, But still, you really risk losing it if you have a by-election anytime soon. You really do. But anyway, this one says here, the reason why all these guys in the F&M feel they can run for leader of the party is because there are no standards for leadership. Candidates generally call around to the delegates for support. But if there is a standard where they have to address the delegates publicly to articulate the vision and an understanding of this country and economy and take questions, we will easily separate the sheep from the goat.
There's a simple solution for this, right? The F&M could just do one of those surveys and find out from the public which of these persons do people actually care about. I'm just saying, like, we have the technology. We can and don't get the same person who did the surveys that told y'all was going to win the election. Get somebody else. I'm saying get somebody who can count. But do the surveys, make sure they get the surveys done in different areas. I feel like y'all might have enough money to get the surveys done in the areas that you lost, in the areas that you feel that you need to win or regain. Get the surveys done in those areas and say, who out of these people do they think is a nice choice? All right. And then go from there. Let that guide you, as opposed to being, once again, a popularity contest in the party, because you're an echo chamber.
They absolutely do not care about what we think.
No. But I'm saying the problem is they have an echo chamber. All right. And that echo chamber is leading them down the wrong road. As long as they need actual data to inform their decisions.
Yeah. Well, as you said earlier, the way how things go in this country, whoever's the leader of the opposition may very well win the next election. They don't have to do anything. They could just sit in a rocking chair for 5 years and they could possibly win, the way how we're doing things around here, unfortunately. So they don't need to listen. And they could play basketball in that echo chamber. That's what they'd like to hear, the sound of that, other than what we have to say. So I don't know if they care, sadly. This final message as we go to the break. And I really wish when you all send messages like this, you would call in as opposed to having us read these type things, because you could be saying anything. This could be straight from Brave Davis. I don't know. But this text says, as a member of the F&M, yeah, sure, I believe that Mr. Cartwright would make a horrible leader. Wow. He doesn't have the wit to bring the party together. He is a good MP, but for leader of the party, no. We often make the same mistakes. Because a person is good in one area, it automatically qualifies them for leader. Sorry, Mr. Cartwright doesn't have it. See, that's what I'm saying. Call in when you want to say things like that. How about that? So
they might work for him. They don't want to know.
Oh,
and
okay.
So he might recognize their voice, and then it'll be a thing.
Sure. All right, let's take a quick break. When we come back, we're talking with Dr. Marvin Smith. He's going to be answering your questions. I hope you call in today because you like to call in when it's just me and my co-hosts, and you try to battle us with what you Googled. But today, put the questions to him. He's ready for you. We're talking about COVID and ivermectin and all those things, everything that you can't stand us saying. When we say that you need to get vaccinated and you say, oh, you've been paid off. Why are you promoting these things?
You got it.
Put it to Dr. Marvin Smith when we get back. This is Morning Blend on Guardian Radio 96.9. Stay with us.
Get ready to follow instructions. Go! Follow the leader, follow the leader. Follow the leader, follow the leader. Hands up. Down. Hands up. Down. Faster. Up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down. Follow the leader, follow the leader. Follow the leader, follow the leader. Now everybody, put one hand in the air. Put one hand in the air. And we're going to wave from left to right. Yeah.
That's the sound of a bite-sized payment I made on my new laptop.
Can I make a bite-sized payment on this amazing vacation?
Yes, with Scotia Select Pay. Now, my big-ticket credit card purchases are more manageable with flexible bite-sized payments over 3, 6, 9, or 12 months at a lower interest rate. Scotia Select Pay allows me to better plan my expenses over time. The best part? No credit checks or financing application. Visit bs.scotiabank.com. Conditions apply.
Best rates, no rates. Best rates, no rates.
BTC gives more savings on the best fiber internet. It's super fast with super savings in every package. Compare and see for yourself. Enjoy up to 150 megabits per second plus 157 TV channels and unlimited home phone minutes for only $99.99.
Best rates, no rates.
Visit a BTC store to sign up for the best internet experience on the Bahamas' best fiber network. Conditions apply.
Breakfast just got better at Wendy's. Introducing the Breakfast Biggie Bag. Enjoy a double sausage muffin with 2 square sausage patties, a freshly cracked egg, and cheese served on a toasted English muffin, a medium waffle fries, and an orange juice for only $5.25, fat inclusive. Add an apple pie for just $1 more.
Say what?
At Wendy's, better breakfast is all day. Offers valid in participating locations. Wendy's, different inside and out.
Screws and Fasteners World, Balfour Avenue and Palm Beach Street, has those hard-to-find fasteners for you right now. You can find stainless steel regular hex, carriage bolts, galvanized bolts, threaded rods, nails, self-tap screws, sex bolts, anchor bolts, turnbuckles, masonry tools, hand tools, and weed whacker strings. Check out the rope selection and carved body fasteners, too. Special orders are welcome. It's your #1 fastener store. Screws and Fasteners World, Balfour Avenue and Palm Beach Streets. Call 326-1976.
Have you heard about the COVID vaccine raffle? If you are vaccinated against COVID-19, you can enter to win amazing prizes like food store gift certificates, hotel stays, beach excursions, and so much more. Even if you are previously vaccinated, you can still enter to win. The COVID vaccine is free, safe, and protects you from severe COVID-19 infection. Don't delay. Get vaccinated today and enter to win. Visit www.pafbahamas.com to register.
Calling all HR professionals. It's Human Resources Professionals Week. Join us for the 41st Annual B-Sherm Conference and Expo, Friday, October 29, 2021. Hear from our 18 industry-leading speakers, enjoy lunch powered by Craven, visit exhibitors in our virtual expo, and so much more. To learn more, email us at conferencebsherm@gmail.com. We'll see you at B-Sherm Conference 2021.
This is Guardian Radio 96.9 FM. Fresh news, smart talk, all day.
Traveling around the world, infecting men, women, boy, and girl, causing folks to quarantine. I'm talking about COVID-19.
Back here with Morning Blend on Guardian Radio 96.9. Dwight Strawn along with Stephen Hanna. And our guest this morning is with the Bahamas Pharmacy Association and the Caribbean Association of Pharmacists, a noted pharmacist in the region. And we're very pleased to have him with us. It's been a while. Dr. Marvin Smith, welcome. Great to have you with us.
Good morning. I'm joining you guys from my good vacation. So.
Oh, wow. Well, thank you very much. We appreciate you giving us the time. And it's National Pharmacy Week. That's a coincidence. I didn't even know that or think about that when we asked you to join us. But I'm happy National Pharmacy Week.
Yes, and let me first say, let me do two things really quick. Like, good morning to you. Good morning, Stephen.
Good morning.
I'm glad you have me on with the funniest man in the Bahamas. So
I appreciate it.
Two things. One, I'm here as a representative, as an executive of the Caribbean Association of Pharmacists, and a proud member of the Bahamas Pharmaceutical Association. I don't want anyone to get this mixed up. Yes, I am chief pharmacist for PHA. I am not here to represent the Public Hospital Authority. I'm not here to speak for the government. I'm here simply to talk about what we've been doing in our various associations across the region as it relates to COVID-19. And let me say a happy Pharmacy Week. The president, Shantia Heald of the Bahamas Pharmaceutical Association, are over 250 members, pharmacists and technicians and wholesalers and educators. I salute the hardworking pharmacists and pharmacy professionals here in the Bahamas. And if you go into a pharmacy today, please tell your pharmacists, your technicians, the staff, happy Pharmacist Week. Wow. It's been a wonderful week for us.
Okay. Wonderful stuff. So you even called into the show a few weeks back. You hear the things that people say.
You mean the Google and Facebook PhDs?
Yeah. Yes. And they're going to be not happy with the way we've been talking about them so far this morning. But it is getting crazy. And it's getting crazier. We didn't think that was possible. But what do you think's happening? And we're wondering, like, local doctors like yourself are going to be talking, and experts are going to be talking here, and they've listened to you all before. But on this matter, it just seems like there's no budging with certain people. Before we open up the phone lines for them to call in and for the text messages to come, what do you think is the reason that they're not taking what locals are saying at face value and being serious and understanding it?
So let me give a couple of people some facts before, like I said, the folk come from me. I'm not involved in any way formally with the government's vaccination program. That's a Ministry of Health program. I work for Public Hospital Authority. I don't buy vaccines. None of this has anything to do with my job. Okay. I don't own any stock in no company, local or international. I don't make a dime whether you get the vaccine or not. I must say this though. It's disappointing. It really is disappointing. We brag in this country that Bahamians are among the best in every other area, and we're so proud to be from the best little country in the world. And when you talk about senior, qualified physicians and nurses and pharmacists who are coming out and telling you COVID is real, this is not a hoax. Remember that COVID is a hoax? Remember this something they try to put a microchip in you and all of the foolishness and everything else? Like Bill Gates got time to worry about what you do. I mean, if he wanted to do that, all he gets is check your PC. But it's disappointing. It's disappointing as a Bahamian health professional to hear some of the discourse and the disrespect that as healthcare professionals who you count on to do everything else to save your life, right? And now, one of the most dangerous things to hit the planet, and now you don't trust what we say? Now you want to question everything else? It's just nuts.
All right, let's go to the news. When we come back, we're going to pick this up. We're going to have a great conversation with Dr. Marvin Smith coming up. Stay with us.
In report. Hello, everyone. I'm Charlene Ferguson. Thanks for tuning in. Topping the news. Public Works Minister Alfred Zerg says he has not seen that report on recent VPL board terminations, and citing a conflict of interest, says he will have nothing to do with it. Julian Gray explains.
Questions about the much-anticipated probe into the shocking dismissal of Bahamas Power and Light's entire board reemerged on Wednesday after Press Secretary Clint Watson hinted that the findings were very interesting and had been submitted to the Minutes administration in November 2020. Well, it turns out that report won't be reviewed by the new Works Minister.
Any report that would come to me would be
sent to the Attorney General, because clearly in that matter, I would be conflicted. I could not deliberate over a matter in which I was the lawyer outside of the government.
The report was completed by U.S.-based firm FTI Consulting. In 2018, then Prime Minister Dr. Hubert Minnis promised a probe into the drama that unfolded between BPL board members and Minister of Works Desmond Bannister. Bannister said at the time board members were at odds on almost every critical issue, a claim shot down by former Executive Chairman Nicole Osborne and 2 other members. They later filed legal action. Osborne was represented by Sears. It's for that reason the new minister says he won't be getting involved.
Matters in the hands of the Attorney General, and any issue that would come to me in my substantive position as Minister of Works, I would have to recuse myself.
Earlier this year, Minnis suggested he was unable to provide an update on the probe. It is unclear why it wasn't released following its completion almost 1 year ago. Now, we also spoke to the minister about board appointments. He says the government is currently finalizing those, and that should be complete within a matter of weeks.
For the Guardian News Network, I'm Jillian Gray.
The government's COVID vaccination program just got another infusion of some 53,000 doses of the Pfizer vaccine. Kyle Joaquin reports.
Amid dwindling supplies, which prompted health officials to suspend first doses, 57,330 doses of Pfizer are in country. It's the 4th round of vaccines to come from Paho's COVAX facility. And with Bahamians eager to get the jab, Darbold said health teams will move quickly to get the vaccines to centers across New Providence and on the Family Islands.
They're here, they will be stored effectively, and you will begin to see even a greater rollout because the appetite and the demand for vaccines, in particularly Pfizer, is definitely on the rise. And that is a good sign for us. And we need to be able to adequately to meet the demand with this supply.
Consider it an early delivery, as this round of vaccines was expected to arrive early next month. Pan American Health Organization representative for the Bahamas, Dr. Aldana Boyson, says as there is still a global shortage of vaccines, the Bahamas is somewhat fortunate to have choices.
But regardless of what you may have seen on social media, they are all safe and effective. So which vaccine is the best one? Is it this one? Which is it? It's the one that's first available to you. Don't delay. Get vaccinated as soon as you can, because the COVID-19 virus is still circulating.
This latest round comes as Family Islands experience a spike in cases. The Ministry of Health confirmed 62 new cases yesterday and 4 deaths. Government's pilot free testing program began on Inagua yesterday, with plans to expand to Eleuthera and the Berry Islands next week. The health minister says a few changes will be made.
Because as you're aware, in the past, most of the testing were flown into New Providence, and not flown, actually by boat, because most of the airlines do not want to carry biohazardous material. We're working on that. And so we will have some information with this new testing modality in real time.
According to the Ministry of Health, as of Saturday, 119,172 people in the Bahamas were fully vaccinated. Over 129,000 have received at least 1 dose. This does not include those who received the single-dose Johnson & Johnson vaccine. Reporting for the Guardian News Network, I'm Kyle Joaquin.
4 more COVID-19 related deaths were confirmed Wednesday. 3 residents of New Providence who passed away in September, and a 72-year-old man from Grand Bahama who died October 6th. The Ministry of Health indicates total COVID deaths now number 630. 1 more death is also under investigation, bringing the number of pending cases to 60. There were also 62 new infections recorded Wednesday, and COVID hospitalizations are down to 109. Well, another FNM MP is now considering a run for that party's top post as their national convention draws closer. Bertha McDermott has that.
St. Barnabas MP Shannon Don Cartwright suggesting he is seriously considering a leadership bid at the Free National Movement's convention next month. Before he makes a final decision on whether to throw his hat into the ring, Cartwright said he is currently consulting with those closest to him.
Listening to persons in my constituency, the constituency association, as well as having meaningful dialogue about where they would like me to serve in whatever capacity that may be. And so serious considerations are being made by many, including myself. But again, this is the beginning of the process.
On the heels of its overwhelming loss at the polls last month, the FNM will hold a convention on November 27 to elect a new leader. Cartwright, who first won the St. Barnabas seat in 2017, was one of the few F&M incumbents to be re-elected on September 16th. He served as chairman of the Public Parks and Public Beaches Authority under the Minnis administration. Heading into the one-day convention, he said the party must assess where it is now and chart the way forward.
And that process is being facilitated right now. I think that you always have to assess and evaluate going forward what the Bahamian people want from your political party, particularly after loss in the general election.
On Wednesday, Central Grand Bahama MP Hiram Lewis announced his plan to run for F&M leader. It is rumored that Marco City MP Michael Pintard may do the same. F&M leader Dr. Hubert Minnis has dodged questions about another leadership bid, but he suggested that it will be revealed at the party's anniversary church service on Sunday.
Dr. Minnis has said that he intends to be an integral part of a possible transition and renewal, again, however that looks. So I can only opine on what Dr. Minnis has said. And if anything changes, I can definitely offer a strong opinion relative to that, if that should happen.
We also asked political newcomer, St. Anne's MP Adrian White, who he will support in the leadership race. To that, he shied away from giving a direct response.
I would support the person in my mind is the best one to lead the party going forward from where we are right now. And that may be Dr. Minnis, that may be Hiram Lewis, who recently indicated his leadership bid, and that may be at one or two others of our existing MPs. And it could even be someone that's not a member of parliament. But ideally, the leader of the party will be a member sitting in the House of Assembly.
Reporting for the Guardian News Network, I'm Berthany McDermott.
That review of public service promotions is about 50% complete. State Minister for the Public Service, Pia Glover-Roll, says they're hoping to have the process completed by the end of the month.
We are about halfway through, but you will hear in the next few days even some developments that are coming out of that. So the process is going smoothly. As I promised, we're going to be as expeditious as possible, and that is happening. We're working hard to make sure the process comes to an end very soon. I want to say even by the end of this month.
Those promotions approved in the weeks leading up to the general election were placed on hold by the Davis administration to investigate whether those promotions may have been politically motivated. The minister acknowledges that there are many public servants who deserve and are patiently waiting for their promotions.
Persons who have been awaiting confirmations, promotions, reclassifications for probably a decade in some instances, and persons that unfortunately are not even here with us anymore. So it is in that vein that we're trying to work as expeditiously as possible, and all will be looked at. We're looking at all of those matters in this process and this exercise that is ongoing.
So what is this music to do?
Scotiabank is giving away $1,000 to 20 lucky customers who sign up and use the Scotia app or Scotia Online. It's simple. Register for the Scotia app or Scotia Online and conduct at least one transaction. Or if you have not been using Scotia Online or mobile app for 30 days or more, you will receive one entry when you become active. Scotia Online makes banking so much easier and safer when you use it to make a transfer, pay a bill, or top up your phone. Visit bs.scotiabank.com for more information.
Have you heard about the COVID vaccine raffle? If you are vaccinated against COVID-19, you can enter to win amazing prizes like food store gift certificates, hotel stays, beach excursions, and so much more. Even if you are previously vaccinated, you can still enter to win. The COVID vaccine is free, safe, and protects you from severe COVID-19 infection. Don't delay. Get vaccinated today and enter to win. Visit www.vaxbahamas.com to register.
How the exercise going? Not too good. What happened? Now, you know, Mr. Junior make me one treadmill. Like? You know how he like tinker. Anyhow, he built this treadmill and he hook it up to one of them clothesline, which you could spin. You know the kind what I mean? You made a one would look like the upside down umbrella? That's the one. He figure that since I was working out, I just power up one of them clothesline. So he hook it up direct to the treadmill. Oh, so whilst you're walking or spinning, Makes sense to me. Makes sense to you, eh? You know how heavy wet clothes is? But anyhow, I right there struggling to get the treadmill going. Slow. She start to go now. The treadmill going and the clothes spinning. This time now I building up speed. I running now. I running. The clothes spinning fast now. Try it now. Yes, and so was the clothes. You would have thought he had enough sense to screw the thing down, eh? The clothes going. I see where they lie, yeah. So what you gonna do? Go back to Superwash where I should have gone in the first beginning. Superwash. It washes and presses and cleans you 24/7.
Give me my pizza right away. Gotta move quick, no time to wait. No long lines inside the place. Little Caesars, I love the taste. Just come now, you don't have to call, you don't have to wait. Hot and ready. Large pepperoni, $7.99 every day. Hot and ready. Straight out the oven and freshly made. Hot and ready. Little Caesars is hot and ready. Little Caesars is. Get yours now at Oaksfield, Carmichael Road, and now East Street South, Pineapple Plaza. Pizza.
Being up, I pinned it the other day and I meet one whale hook hanging by the front door. I say, what it is, Ahab? What's with the hook? And they say, Lampkin, I ain't taking no chances. I hear the ministry say we got to be careful of the corona spike. You only got to tell me once. I want to see him coming here. I'll show him what spike look like. I say, oh, okay. I thought you was trying to hook people with your great selection of granite, marble, porcelain, and ceramic. He said, that ain't bad, Lampkin. I tell you, you continues to surprise me. Friend the Tile on Prince Charles Drive. Resells tile.
Convenient locations, super savings, and quality products. That's super value and quality. Supermarkets. Pound cake, 8-inch, $5.99. Rainbow spaghetti and meatballs, 15-ounce, 2 for $1.79. Olivia vegetable oil, 48-ounce, $5.29. Sweet navel oranges, 2 for $1.19. Premium boneless chuck steak or roast, $5.99 per pound. Open Monday through Saturday, 7 a.m. to 8 p.m. That's super value and quality supermarkets.
Peter the peanut peddler busted in sunrise that day and start hollering, "I nuts! I nuts!" So Bullock say, when you're nuts that area, you just need one injection in your midsection, and that will. Peter say, right. Today I got dark brown, light brown, light brown, and white. See him here. Bella, as usual, as well as only to get a large part of our conversation and get confused right up. She say, we don't do no colorization and no nuts here. This a watch shop. Carry that freshness someplace else. And now Peter the peanut peddler, he in charge of peanut peddling for the whole of Montrose Avenue.
Sunhouse Watching Clock, number 112 Montrose Avenue. Watching clock sales and repairs, and sometimes peanuts too.
Scotiabank is giving away $1,000 to 20 lucky customers. You sign up and use the Scotia app or Scotia Online. It's simple. Register for the Scotia app or Scotia Online and conduct at least one transaction. Or if you have not been using Scotia Online or mobile app for 30 days or more, you will receive one entry when you become active. Scotia Online makes banking so much easier and safer when you use it to make a transfer, pay a bill, or top up your phone. Visit ps.scotiabank.com for more information.
Public Works Minister Alfred Sears traveled to Grand Bahama, where he spent the day touring the eastern end of the island. There he spoke with residents who said they are still in need of government assistance more than 2 years after Hurricane Dorian. Jillian Gray was there.
There are still many places in East Grand Bahama frozen in time following the passage of Hurricane Dorian in 2019. The devastation is a day-to-day reality for these residents of Sweetings Key.
Clinic is completed, but we need a nurse or a doctor to come here at least once a week or every 2 weeks, or come here to stay amongst the people because we have sick people in the community.
Non-governmental organizations have been the driving force behind the rebuilding process on that key, with the Rotary Club building 17 homes, CORE assisting with rebuilding the clinic, and the World Central Kitchen assisting with grants.
This moment, I need a lot of help. It's right now still living poorly.
Well, I want a government to actually like the process that was started, but left off, to continue in this community, such as our dock. We need a school here also too, because children are here and need to go to school. And the clinic also too need to be reopened, you know. And also our channel needs to dredge out that we can get in and out, because since the hurricane, it is very difficult of getting in and out.
Works Minister Alfred said it was sad to see the devastation of the dock, school, and countless homes on Sweetings Key.
But it was sad to see that the dock that I had used and remember quite well is really destroyed. We also visited the school, And again, to see the devastation that has been done to the educational infrastructure.
Minister of State for Grand Bahama, Ginger Moxie, promised that they will help to move the rebuilding process along.
That we are with them. The residents of East Grand Bahama, we're going to go above and beyond to make things happen.
It is the school in High Rock that is most important to East Grand Bahama MP Kwesi Thompson.
That is a very important project for East Grand Bahama. We have, the previous government had put some funding in the budget for it. And so again, I'm very pleased that we are able to come and look at the site. And then we will be advocating for that project to continue because it is a very important project for East Grand Bahama.
For the Guardian News Network, I'm Jillian Gray.
That's going to do it for local news. Still with us, AP News is next.
You have a new text message from Scotia.
Scotiabank is adding text messaging to its communication channels to keep customers updated in quicker and safer ways. As of November 4th, Scotiabank will be using text messaging to provide notifications on the minimum payment required for your credit card and due dates. Customers may continue to access their credit card statements on Scotia Online or through our mobile banking app. Learn more by contacting customer care-bahamas at scotiabank.com or call 356-1697.
When engaging in physical activity, it is normal for the body to get tired and fatigued. In the same way, COVID-19 has brought on fatigue, but we must not give up the fight. Wear your mask over your mouth and nose, stay at least 3 feet apart from others, wash and sanitize your hands often, and avoid touching your face. Together, we will win. This message is brought to you by the PAHO WHO Bahamas Infection Citrus Country Office, the Ministry of Health, and the Healthy Bahamas Coalition.
You buy it, we can fix it. General Appliance Company, number 233 Market Street, is the place you've been looking for to repair your AC units, commercial and residential, and vehicle AC repairs too. General Appliance Company sells, repairs, and order parts for refrigerators, stoves, freezers. You can order boards for new and used TVs. They repair small home appliances like irons, blenders, fans, and much more. General Appliance Company, easiest way to get the parts you need, best place to get it fixed. Call General Appliance Company, number 233 Market Street, 323-6086, 323-6086.
At Apex Award Signs and Engraving, the name says it all. The country's trusted name for trophies, plaques, corporate seals, rubber stamps, badges, bumper stickers, traffic and street signs, keychains, t-shirts, interior signs, restaurant menus, and so much more. Apex Award Signs and Engraving, number 128 Mount Royal Avenue in Wilton Street. Open 9 to 5, Monday to Friday, and 9 to 1 on Saturdays. Visit the website at apexawardsbahamas.com. Apex Award Signs and Engraving, number 1 in the Bahamas.
Hurricane season is here. If you're not prepared, it can really turn your life upside down. Fortunately, there's CG Atlantic General. Our people are here ready to assist at a moment's notice with protection like alternative accommodation for those who are displaced due to a storm. It's our priority to make sure you have what you need when you need it most. So when your life gets turned upside down, we can help to turn it around. CG Atlantic General. Good like that. Security and General Insurance Company Limited, trading as CG Atlantic General. Contact a CG Atlantic General broker today.
There's a master foodie in each of us. At Fresh Market, we've provided a canvas for your inner foodie to create a culinary masterpiece. Bring your wildest food dreams to life with inspiration from our fresh meat and produce, the largest cheese selection in the Bahamas, and aisles of specialty good-for-you foods. Try making that tuna tartare, beef bolognese, or even a nice fresh avocado toast at home. Maybe even dive into your raw foods for a fresher meal. Fresh Market, where master foodies come to be inspired.
Everything is changing, and your favorite hardware and home improvement store is getting with the program. We Buy You Sell is rolling out its new online shopping feature. If you go to our website, wbusbahamas.com, it's a quick and easy 3-step process. Step 1, browse the gallery and select your item. Step 2, add to cart. And step 3, check out. Go to our website, wbusbahamas.com, to shop with us today.
At Master Technicians, we have what your family traditions need, starting with industry best refrigerators, ranges, and ovens. We also carry Whirlpool washer and dryers, dishwashers and freezers, leading KitchenAid countertop appliances, blenders, microwaves, juicers, kettles, and KitchenAid stand mixers. We even do free delivery in New Providence or to the boat of your choice. Whether you're doing the laundry, creating new memories in the kitchen, or spending family time in front of the television, Master Technicians Limited, keeping family traditions alive for more than 50 years.
Tired of banks forcing you to use technology to bank the way they want you to? Your convenience is important. So no matter what your banking needs, Commonwealth Bank's friendly staff are always available in branch for that personal one-on-one service. But when you choose technology, our online and mobile banking app offers you state-of-the-art functionality. The choice is yours. Commonwealth Bank. Bank the way you want.
This traffic report is brought.
Welcome back to Morning Blend here on Guardian Radio 96.9. We are streaming live on GuardianTalkRadio.com and on the Guardian Radio app for smart devices. We're also on your televisions on Cable Bahamas Channel 969 and BTC Flow Channel 612. You can tweet us at Morning Blend 969 or Facebook.com/Morning Blend 969. Text us 422-4796. And now at 8:22, time for another check of your weather for today. Brought to you by Bahamas First Insurance. Here's what's happening. We've got the combination of low to mid-level troughing coupled with a moist, unstable air mass over the Bahamas that's going to maintain a wet pattern across the islands through tonight. For all areas today, look for cloudy with occasionally overcast periods, warm and a bit breezy, with scattered showers to widespread showers and isolated thunderstorms through tonight. Showers may be locally heavy and thunderstorms strong to severe at times. Temperature-wise today, because of the rain, is going to be not as high as we've been seeing over the past few days, so around 84 Fahrenheit, 29 Celsius. Overnight lows tonight getting down to about 73 Fahrenheit, 23 Celsius. In your extended outlook, surface troughing and moisture will continue to support unsettled weather across all areas tomorrow. Meanwhile, a ridge will build in from the east, shifting the majority of the weather across the northern islands by late Sunday. So for tomorrow, Saturday, mostly cloudy to overcast and warm with widespread showers and isolated thunderstorms, some becoming heavy to severe at times. Sunday, mostly cloudy to overcast, warm and breezy with scattered showers and isolated thunderstorms in the northwest Bahamas. Variably cloudy, hot and humid with isolated showers and a few isolated thunderstorms in the central and southeast Bahamas. The tropics are quiet. Tropical cyclone formation not expected over the next 5 days. That's your Morning Blend weather check brought to you by Bahamas First Insurance. What's first for you comes first for us. And at 8:24, time for another check of your traffic for this morning, brought to you by RBC Royal Bank. In real-time traffic, heavy traffic as usual on Mile Butler Highway from Fire Trail all the way up to Tonic Bung's Darling Highway in the northbound lanes there. And we're seeing that. And then Gladstone Road also looking busy for you northbound to JFK Drive. Independence Drive, heavy traffic westbound to the roundabout with Blue Hill Road. And Blue Hill Road, as usual, heavy north of Soldier Road, the northbound lanes there, heading to that same roundabout. Between the roundabout with Independence Drive and East West Highway and East Street, and then Soldier Road, you're going to be seeing heavy traffic if you're northbound on East Street. Keep that in mind if you're in that part of the island. And back to Blue Hill Road, it's very busy between Carmichael and all the way pretty much down to Cowpen Road, but especially between St. Vincent and Carmichael, the northbound lanes. That junction, that intersection with Cowpen and Zion Boulevard, especially if you are on Zion Boulevard westbound to the intersection with Blue Hill Road, you're going to be seeing heavy traffic there, and eastbound on Cowpen to Blue Hill. In Western New Providence, we're seeing building traffic westbound on Carmichael to Coral Harbor Road, and Coral Harbor Road actually is quite busy, both directions into Coral Harbor there. Not sure what's going on there, but that's a lot of traffic, both directions inside Coral Harbor, heading up to Adelaide Road and the intersection with Carmichael, the roundabout there. All right, so keep that in mind if you're in Western New Providence. In Eastern New Providence, we've got Eastern Road westbound from Fox Hill up to Johnson Road, and Bernard Road near the schools in the area. That's going to be heavy for you westbound. And of course, Prince Charles Drive, the major intersections, going to be hot spots for you. So a lot going on out there on the streets. Keep that in mind as you make your way about. That's your real-time traffic and your morning blend traffic alert, brought to you by RBC Royal Bank, banking reimagined.
Traveling around the world, infecting men, women, boy, and girl, causing folks to quarantine. I'm talking about COVID-19. Coronavirus, you're a pest. You've got this world in a mess.
We're back here with Morning Blend on Guardian Radio 96.9. Dwight Strawn along with Stephen Hanna on this Friday morning. We're talking with Dr. Marvin Smith, a noted pharmacist in the country and the region, and he is here to answer your questions about COVID. And we're getting some great ones already. And but I want to start off. This is my only one, and then we're going to get everybody else to call in. Just wanted to ask you. People are raving about ivermectin. Even a caller a few days ago. We had a caller a few days ago who said COVID was no big deal. He went to a local doctor. He called the name of the doctor, and we all know the doctor very well. And he said he was given ivermectin, and in 2 to 3 days he was fine. Let's talk about this. Ivermectin, what exactly is it? And what do you say about it, Dr. Smith?
Okay, so let's be clear about a couple of things. One, ivermectin is not approved for general use in humans. And the
in what now? Say that word again.
Not in humans.
In humans.
Yeah, humans. So, the ivermectin that's commonly available on the market that people are trying to get is veterinary ivermectin. The doses are different. The ingredients are different. There are ingredients that are in veterinary ivermectin that are not approved for human use. And there's a reason for that. They really make it for horses and dogs. So at some point, if you're comfortable eating your dog food, then, maybe you're comfortable taking ivermectin. So it's not approved. Well, salmon is salmon. That's your wild card. I don't know what you. All right. If you farming your fish, I ain't eating it. But we have to look at some of these things in a very practical way. So let's talk data. Okay, I'm a scientist. I don't get involved in what you say, I say. Currently, there are 81 studies globally on ivermectin. Okay, there's only 4 going on in the continental United States. That's the first thing. Okay, out of the 81 studies, only 9 are completed with published results. None of those 9 is in the Western Hemisphere, except for 2 studies done in the same hospital with the same patients in Buenos Aires, Argentina, and in Mexico. Okay, and the rest of the studies are all places like Pakistan and Egypt and China, and so when you look at those, here's the problem you have. Even with the 9 studies that are posted, the results aren't great. And when you look at the amount of people enrolled in the study, some of those studies have as little as 19 patients. The largest one has 400. This is studies that are done, completed, and posted results. You got a bunch of them completed, but if they're not posting results, there's a reason for that, right? So there's so much more. When you look at that, so you're talking about those 9 studies, you're talking less than 1,000 patients. Okay, keep in mind what our numbers are in the world right now, globally. Okay, 3.8 billion people have received a COVID-19 vaccine. Okay, and 2.9 billion have received a full dose. So when we say we know that the vaccine works, it's not just because you had studies with tens of thousands of people in the original studies, but we now have current data, real life data, with almost 4 billion people. Ivermectin, we don't even have 1,000 people yet. All right. Now, will ivermectin maybe find a way for that it might work and formulate it for humans? That's all ongoing. But what amazes me, and I can only use the word sheer insanity, that people who will say, I don't want to take a vaccine that almost 4 billion people have taken, okay? And none of those, and well, we don't know if it works. But let's talk about this. When you look at the US, as of May 1st, they'd given 190 million doses. They had less than 10,262 breakthrough cases. Out of those 10,000 people, only 995, okay, had to be hospitalized, okay? And only 160 died. All right? So when we look at that number, we can say this thing effectively works. We don't know that yet about ivermectin. And I would say that any physician, pharmacist, vet, whoever that is dispensing ivermectin to humans, unless you are manufacturing this on your own and you have the data for it, it's a dangerous thing. It's unethical because it's not just approved. And we don't want to guess. First rule of healthcare, do no harm.
Wow. Okay. That's serious. That's very serious. All right. So folks, call in 323-6232, 325-4316, 325-4259. Tweet us, Facebook us, text us 422-4796. This question here about how the virus attacks your existing ailments, your comorbidities, why this is happening, how serious is this? Let's talk about that. And we got another one about obesity too, and these other risk factors.
Well, listen. Any disease, any infection is going to have a greater impact on you if you're not healthy to start it. Okay, and so you have to look at one, increasing your health. I've buried friends who were vaccinated, man. Buried good friends who were vaccinated, but they had major comorbidities, and they got the vaccine late. And
did
all of
they
us
die from COVID, or did they die from?
Well, we'll wait and see what the autopsy says. But I mean, I believe they died from COVID. They obviously had a respiratory infection. But the thing is, if you have
it wasn't the vaccine that did this.
No. And some of them are only not even been vaccinated for the 2 weeks yet. So you're dealing with the fact that if you got hypertension and heart disease and diabetes and high cholesterol, if you're obese, those are huge risk factors. And let me tell you something, it's got to be a wake-up call for all of us. All right. I buried a good friend, and you know, I was 285. Now I'm 6'4", so I could carry 285 a little better than most people in this country. Right? But I had to change some things. I'm down now to 268.
Good stuff.
In less than a month. And I got to do some more stuff. I got to get back to my, you know, my college playing days at 240. Right? But you know, and I get to wear a suit to hide some of that. But I ain't like y'all skinny boys. But we have to look at those risk factors.
He's looking at the white display.
yeah. You know, so at the end of the day, we have to eat better. We have to exercise. We have to try to get rest. And I've had to do some of those things myself. I take melatonin. I work a lot of late nights, and I have to getting my body to ramp down to sleep has been a problem. So I take some melatonin. I take my elderberry. Take my multivitamins. I try to eat healthy. I'm primarily eating fish and nothing else, pretty much. And these are the things we have to do. I cut out coffee last year when COVID started, and I was anybody who knows went to you know the most popular Schin on the market. I'm not going to call them because they don't pay you to advertise.
That's
right? They all the staff knew me and they knew what I should drink.
Wait. So I'm a coffee drinker as well. What's the issue with the coffee?
Well, I just cut it out because it was one of those things that the way I was consuming it was unhealthy.
Okay.
Okay. You're taking 6 or 7 espresso shots a day. That's the problem.
Oh yeah.
So like cut it out. Went to herbal tea. And those are some things. You have to do certain things, like cut out chicken, because a lot of that's just processed and a lot of different things. We have to really promote health. And the best people you can talk to about healthy supplements and some of the things, the vitamins and things you have to do are your pharmacist. It's pharmacy week. So go and talk to your pharmacist and say, hey, what's a good vitamin for me at my age, at the different disease states I have? Because your pharmacist is going to know everything about a patient. Because when you go to 5 different doctors, you get them all filled with us. All right. So I'm encouraging people to do that. But definitely we have to look at those risk factors. And obesity is a huge one.
I've got a lot of calls. Let's take these. Good morning, caller. You are on Morning Blend.
Good morning, Dwight.
Hi.
Good morning to you, Dr. Guess I didn't get your name, sir.
Dr. Marvin Smith.
Dr. Marvin Smith, and also good morning to your co-host. Yeah,
good morning.
Good morning. When you said that like they don't really fly in, like the planes don't fly in biohazard materials, they were shipping it and all along. What was that?
I think you're referring to the news.
Yeah, that was.
They don't fly in like commercial flights don't fly in like biohazard.
That was the Minister of Health who said that on the news earlier. We're not exactly talking about that, but
COVID service and biohazard, eh?
That was the
He's
test
wrong.
results, and the testing that they did, flying it back to NASA to be tested.
I'm not privy to those sort of things. That's not in my area. I will not speak for the minister. I will take what he says as the policy, and if that's the case, then that's another hurdle, which is why it's important for people to do the things like socially distance and get vaccinated, because in some of our islands, the simple reality is getting a test is difficult. And so we want to do the things that will prevent us from having to be tested. So get vaccinated as the vaccines are being made available. And I do applaud the government for bringing in more vaccines and different variety of vaccines.
Get vaccinated or have a healthy immune system to battle it.
Both.
Not or both.
Both.
But
you know,
I'm a bit confused because earlier in the pandemic, right, when the pandemic came around, right, they said that your pet, you must make sure your pet clean their paws. And how come animals ain't catching this COVID thing? And they breed in there and they be around people close to and people's face and all of that. But I noticed like the animal aspect of this COVID thing, they dropped it and it's only focused on humans.
Okay, so can I ask you a question? And I think when you answer this, you'll answer your own question.
Yes.
If you've ever owned a pet, do you realize that sometimes your pet gets sick, but the pet right there with you, you don't get sick? Or when your kids have the flu, your pet don't get the flu? Our bodies are created differently, and the pathogens impact us differently, which is why you shouldn't be taking something made for a horse in your body.
But sir, we may be different, right? But the air we breathe is all the same. Inhale, exhale, and the animal breathe.
But we process those things differently, sir. Okay, you process those things differently, and that's why. So, okay, I'll give you a great example. Everybody knows you don't give dogs chocolate. Okay, it's unhealthy and makes them actually sick. Okay, but you don't get the same impact from chocolate, right? But it's the same chocolate, so the air is going to be different based on how you process it and an animal processes it.
Right? Yes, sir. You mentioned that you take your serotonin, right? I'm because I heard
melatonin.
Melatonin.
Right. That's for sleep. Okay. Serotonin is the chemical in your brain to make you happy.
It's like a neurotransmitter, right? Serotonin.
Serotonin is a neurotransmitter. Yes, it is.
Right. Okay. So I heard Dr. Pinto saying that men who are low on testosterone, chances of catching COVID are greater, and when they do catch COVID, their testosterone levels drop so low that they have to come for certain treatment after the COVID, like they get COVID. Is that true?
I can't speak for what Dr. Pinto sees in his practice. Keep in mind, he's talking about testosterone and not serotonin.
Yeah.
So let's not get mixed up there. At the end of the day, here's what you have to realize, sir.
Yes, sir.
COVID is going to adversely impact a lot of your body systems. We're still learning about the long-term impact of this. I've had friends who are clinicians, healthcare workers in the States, who caught COVID last year and are still dealing with long-term effects of it.
Wow.
So we're still studying this. We're still looking at it. The key is do what you can do to not get it. That means wash your hands, socially distance, wear a mask, practice good health, and as soon as you can get it, go get vaccinated.
Yeah, my last question to you, sir, is okay. Now, the effects of COVID, right? Like on persons, when they go through the medical system and they go under, like, under these, whatever protocol they put them under to be different drugs or chemicals that have side effects.
Yes. No.
Do we lose him? Okay.
Well, I just wanted to. I mean, I don't know if it's a question or a comment on the pet bit, but it's like, I know that animals can catch coronaviruses,
of course,
right? but also there's the point that for cultural reasons, most Bahamians don't have their dogs in the house, and most Bahamians do not allow animals to lick their face. So I feel like if we were a culture that used to like tongue kiss our animals, then this would be a bigger concern. We'd see more rise to that. But like if a dog come too close to the front door, your mommy gonna run the dog. So now if you guys were doing the exact same thing with humans, where it's like every time a random person show up without a mask at your front door, you was running them, then it would be a different situation. But that is not what's happening. So
indeed,
it's a different context, in my humble opinion.
We got another call here. Let's take this call. Good morning, call. You're on Morning Blend.
Hey, good morning, Dwight.
Hi, good morning.
Stephen and Dr. Smith.
Marvin Smith, yes.
Marvin Smith. Yeah. Dr. Smith, I heard you earlier saying that we shouldn't put people in things that are not approved inside our bodies, right? My question to you, right? I think it's 4 vaccinations that are being given out to the public around the world, right?
There's more than 4, but there's 4 major ones in the Western Hemisphere.
Yeah, right. And just recently, I think only one of them just got approval just this year
in America.
Okay, so let's talk about approvals, because I think we have to understand that, like everything else, it's like, I got some nieces who every time I talk to them, they say, Milka Marvin, there's levels to this thing, right? So there's levels to this thing. Okay, so you had emergency use authorization, which is basically what you've shown us is good enough for us to start, and we're going to continue monitoring, but we feel like at least we know it's safe. And then we'll see how effective it is in the general public further down the road, because you've done studies with tens of thousands of people. All right, those 4 major vaccines received this emergency authorization either through the US or the UK or the WHO very late last year. And that's when vaccines started to be given out as early as December of 2020. Okay, so that's one level of approval. Okay, then it went to, after it got to millions of people, all right, and billions now. We really know. Hey, listen, we now see with the real data, which proved the initial data, you now have full approval. Now we're at a case where boosters, up to this week, all 4 of them now have approval for booster status.
Don't go too far. But why are you saying?
No, I know. I need you to come far with me now.
Yeah, but look, what I'm saying to you, right? Those vaccine, what you were saying, right? But as far as that is concerned, if these vaccinations, right, are approved, like and all of these levels that you indicated, right? 3 of them still just don't have the final approval yet. Only one got the final approval, right? And even though that one got the final approval, it still sits in the same category as if when it was with the other rest. If you understand what I'm saying?
Okay, so let me ask you a question. Because you're saying something
that is approved and supposed to be safe, right?
Right.
There's still no.
Let him respond to you, the caller. Let Dr. Smith respond.
My friend, I need us to stay in the world of facts this morning. All 4 vaccines are approved. 3 are approved in the US. The UK one is the Oxford AstraZeneca is approved in the UK, and they're all approved by the WHO. They're all approved, full approval. Let's not dance around that. Okay, all of them are approved. In fact, up to the 13th of October. Now, after that, all 4 of them have been approved for booster approval. But that's fact. Okay, you can go to the CDC website, you can go to the FDA website, you can go to the WHO website. You'll see that there. So not one of them. All of them are approved.
Yeah. I think it's important to remember that different organizations are giving different approvals. So it's like the CDC is not the governing organization over the Bahamas. It's just that they're very close by, and so we hear a lot what they do. But that's not don't conflate the 2.
Okay, and so now hold on. Let me answer the other part of your question. The other part of your question is this: these approval protocols, they did not make these new for this vaccine. These approvals, getting an emergency authorization and then getting approval and then getting further approval on phase 4 monitoring studies, is the basic approval protocol for all medicines that we use. So they didn't change the rules for COVID-19 vaccine. These existing protocols. This is every medicine that you would come to the hospital and take has pretty much gone through this approval process. It's nothing new. Nothing new.
Emergency, right? And then
right, because if a lot of cancer drugs, a lot of these other drugs, drugs that we use to treat HIV and some other things, all of these went through the same protocols. They've all went through the book. And I need to reiterate this. There are 3.8 billion people in the world have at least one shot of the vaccine. 2.9 are fully vaccinated. Okay, that's 43% of the world's population. We're not talking about something that's just popping up in the back of the bush somewhere. Yeah. This is across the globe.
Right? Okay, let's take this call, and then we'll get to the text messages after the break. Good morning, caller. You are on the air.
Early days is Dark Universe along with you, Mr. Hanna, and Mr. Gibson, right?
Well, Dr. Smith.
Dr. Smith, Dr. Smith. Yeah. Brayman Darling Ferguson here. Now you said something, Dr. Smith, about if you want to eat your animal food or some of that sort. You remember that?
Okay. I need you to repeat that for me. You got a little fuzzy.
That was a joke, but okay, but go on.
Okay. What I'm going to say to him, the thing is, they tested medication on rats. People eat rats. People eat horses. People eat dogs. Explain to me a situation whereby if they were to get COVID, those people, what would they use?
Well, okay,
you should know they eat those stuff because you're a scientist.
listen to me. Listen to me. I practice in the Western Hemisphere. Okay, I've traveled all over the world. I got more visas in my passport than you. I mean, you can trust me. Every time I walk through, people ask me what I do. So, but I will say this to you: in the areas where we practice in the Western Hemisphere, okay, it is not a common practice to eat those things. It just isn't. Okay, so let's not get into the what ifs. We're talking here in the Bahamas.
But also, okay? I mean, also there's the whole thing where it's like there's food handling specifications to prevent outbreaks of disease with food. Like there's because that's the reason why we don't have mad cow disease running rampant, because we're like, okay, hey, there's something wrong here. We tested it already. We know there's something wrong with this batch. Don't send this out. And if you have food like this, you need to cook it a certain way and handle it a certain way. So it's like it's conflating several different issues all together, because it's like it's not just it's not as simple as, oh, you touched the cat, now you're going to die. You know what I mean? Like, so I hear the question, but I don't. If that was the case, we would have died 5 years ago when Brazil had that horse meat corned beef poisoning epidemic.
Or mad cow disease.
No, right.
Or,
so it's
or
like
chicken flu.
Or every time the lettuce gets salmonella, like there's a reason we have different systems set up. So it's like if we're talking about medicine right now, not food handling.
Okay. We got a lot of text messages, but we need to take a break. Let's do that, and then we'll be back. This is Morning Blend on Guardian Radio 96.9. Stay with us.
Earning zero interest on your savings at the bank? With as little as $100, you can start earning interest on your money while you're sleeping, eating, or standing in line at the bank with the CFAL Savings Express Plan. Because at CFAL, your interest is our interest. Call us at 502-7010 or visit cfal.com to start now. CFAL, growing wealth for future generations of Bahamians.
Best rates, no delays. Best rates, no delays.
BTC gives more savings on the best fiber internet. It's super fast with super savings in every package. Compare and see for yourself. Enjoy up to 150 megabits per second plus 157 TV channels and unlimited home phone minutes for only $99.99.
Best rates, no delays.
Visit a BTC store. Sign up for the best internet experience on the Bahamas' best fiber network. Conditions apply.
Reimagine Auto Wow with RBC Financing. Drive home happiness with RBC Financing affordable packages. Experience the RBC difference with up to 100% financing, extended repayment terms, and step-by-step guidance from a team of mobile experts. Find out more at rbc.com/Caribbean/auto loan. Reimagine Auto Wow with RBC.
For 38 years, Struckham Commercial Pest Services has provided trained certified technicians while using environmentally safe industry standard products. Pests can devastate your business. Together, we will ensure adequate sanitation standards and safe pest exclusion methods. Uncontrolled pest problems lead to significant financial loss due to food contamination, business disruption, and stock waste. Struckham provides detailed solutions protecting your business and reputation. Struckham, #1 in pest control services.
Physical distancing isn't the same as being socially distant. I know that sometimes it can be a bit difficult not being able to engage in the in-person social activities that we did before, whether that be going to the movies or just hanging out in person. But remember that different does not mean distant. As the generation of technology, we can get creative in planning virtual parties with friends and family. Play online games with friends. Plan virtual family parties. Start a cooking competition among cousins, or do a virtual dance party. If you do gather in person, however, remember to avoid gathering in large groups. Always ensure that you wear your mask to cover your mouth and nose. And remember, wash and sanitize your hands
This message is brought to you by the PAHO WHO Bahamas Infectious Diseases Country Office, the Ministry of Health, and the Healthy Bahamas Coalition.
Hurricane season is here. If you're not prepared, it can really turn your life upside down. Fortunately, there's CG Atlantic General. Our people are here ready to assist at a moment's notice with protection like alternative accommodation for those who are displaced due to a storm. It's our priority to make sure you have what you need when you need it most. So when your life gets turned upside down, we can help to turn it around. CG Atlantic General. Good like that. Security and General Insurance Company Limited, trading as CG Atlantic General. Contact a CG Atlantic General broker today.
That's the sound of a bite-sized payment I made on my new laptop.
Can I make a bite-sized payment on this amazing vacation?
Yes, with Scotia Select Pay. Now my big ticket credit card purchases are more manageable with flexible bite-sized payments over 3, 6, 9, or 12 months at a lower interest rate. Scotia Select Pay allows me to better plan my expenses over time. The best part? No credit checks or financing application. Visit bs.scotiabank.com. Conditions apply.
Technology serves to make our lives better, so why not your business too? At Custom Computers, we've been maintaining our knowledge and relationships with top tech companies since 1987 and carry only the most trusted brands like Apple, Microsoft, HP, and more. No company has helped more businesses build reliable IT systems than Custom Computers. You name it, we've done it. Call 396-1101 to talk to any of our business experts. Find trust in your tech. Count on Custom Computers.
Have you heard about the COVID vaccine raffle? If you are vaccinated against COVID-19, you can enter to win amazing prizes like food store gift certificates, hotel stays, beach excursions, and so much more. Even if you are previously vaccinated, you can still enter to win. The COVID vaccine is free, safe, and protects you from severe COVID-19 infection. Don't delay. Get vaccinated today and enter to win. Visit www.vaxbahamas.com to register.
People helping people to help themselves.
All right, watch this. The Credit Union of the Bahamas, drop card ain't got nothing on them. There's the plug.
People helping people to help themselves.
Don't believe me? Join the Credit Union and watch your money grow like Chef and Needle.
Credit unions are smarter choice. Higher rates on your savings.
Yeah, go join one.
Credit unions are smarter choice. More money you make.
More what? Stop that.
Credit unions are smarter choice. Higher rates on your savings.
Let me get my money there.
Credit unions are smarter choice. More money you make. Join a credit union. Watch your savings grow with higher interest rates. Become a member and purchase some shares. And ownership is coming your way. They offer local banking members owner personalized service. Come and join the credit union, and your choice will be the smartest. Again, credit unions are the smarter choice. Higher rates on your savings.
Calling all HR professionals. It's Human Resources Professionals Week. Join us for the 41st Annual BSHRM Conference and Expo, Friday, October 29th, 2021. Hear from our 18 industry-leading speakers, enjoy lunch powered by Craven, visit exhibitors in our virtual expo, and so much more. To learn more, email us at conferencebshrm@gmail.com. We'll see you at BSHRM Conference 2021.
This is Guardian Radio, 96.9 FM. Fresh news, smart talk, all day.
Traveling.
All right, we are back here with Morning Blend on Guardian Radio 96.9. Dwight Strawn along with Stephen Hanna. We're talking with Dr. Marvin Smith. He's answering your questions about COVID, and we've got some
as it relates to medicine
here.
As it relates to medicine, not should I name my baby COVID, not things like that.
All right, here's this one here. Ask your guest if COVID is no worse than the flu. I don't know for the vast majority of people who get it. Why are we making such a big deal about this? I guess we don't trust the medical professionals because they continue to lie about the facts that don't push the vaccine agenda.
Let me answer that real quickly. The fact that you began your question with if COVID is no worse than the flu tells me, one, uninformed, and two, that kills the entire premise of the question. So let's just keep it moving. I want to say this though, I get this all the time. People say, but so-and-so took the vaccine and they still get COVID. You know what the numbers are for breakthrough cases? I gave them earlier. Let me break that down to you. It's 5 people in every 400,000 vaccinated people.
Wow.
So if you know a bunch of people who got the vaccine and still get COVID, you got to be the luckiest person in the world because you only got 400,000+ people in the country.
Mm-hmm. Okay, this one here. Since 60% of us are obese, the easiest comorbidity to detect since it's visible to the naked eye, but only 5% of us reported to a doctor with severe effects. Why do 100% of us need to be vaccinated? What takes a vulnerable person into the 5 or 6%? Why? Where's the data?
That's like saying since there's only 100 traffic fatalities a year in the country, and we have 600,000 vehicles on the road, why the rest of us need to wear seatbelts? I mean, you got to be sensible about this sort of stuff. It's a protective thing, and plus, you're not just protecting yourself; you're protecting the people that you love. My mother is in her 70s. She lives she lives in my house. And when COVID came, I locked the gate, and I was like, "Listen, if your last name ain't the same as my last name, you can't come to my house. Period. Come to the gate." And even when the pastor and the elders was like, "We coming to do a home visit," I told them, "Home visit to where? It ain't happening, buddy. You better Zoom and pray
from the gate."
Listen, wait from the gate, and and there's a long distance from my gate to the door. So we have to be sensible about these things, right? And quite frankly, have you ever seen us have to put up tent wards because we had bad flu in this country? I mean, the numbers are there. You see the obituaries are running 45 minutes on loop on TV, and they got a booklet in the paper. You really think it's not the flu? Okay.
Wow. Another one along those lines, though. Here's logic and data. 95% of the population has not gotten sick. I don't know if that's right, though. I don't think that's right. Anyway, I'd like to know why, because I doubt that 95% of the population has isolated for 1 year. Are we all asymptomatic? Prove it. I mean that literally. I want to see scientific approaches to the questions people have. Stop waiting for other countries to tell us what's wrong with us.
Well, a part of it's surveillance, but here's the thing: how do you know 95% haven't gotten sick? Many people got sick, but didn't go to the hospital, and they may have gotten better because they been treated or their immune system kicked in and prevented it. At the end of the day, here's what we're looking at. And that 95% is way off because we can tell from our hospitalizations just off the bat and the population we have that those numbers are high, and our numbers are very high. And I'm hoping that some of the changes we're going to make are going to actually bring those down, because the truth of the matter is we compare ourselves to some of these Caribbean countries, but they're dealing with continuous land masses and people who move in and out of their major cities every day. Primarily, the population in Nassau stays static, and the population in the islands don't come to Nassau every week or every day. And some of the outbreaks we see in the islands tell us that we have to improve in what we're doing.
Yeah, we are running out of time. We're going to have you back, Dr. Smith. But let me just read a couple more of these text messages. Someone says, without taking a second or third shot, how long will the efficacy of the vaccine last? And how many more shots will one have to take in order to get through the next 3 to 5 years or the entire COVID period?
So, I mean, it varies from people to people. We know that if you have gotten COVID, your natural immunity can last as short as 3 months and maybe as long as 6+ months. The vaccines themselves, what we've sort of seen through the data now, with there's billions of people that have it, is that if you are at risk, okay, 8 months is really where you should be looking at a booster after your final dose. So I got vaccinated in February and March. All right, I work in the hospital, man. Right, I travel a lot, so I got my booster in the States 2 weeks ago. All right, and because I was at that coming up to that 8-month period, and these are the things we have to do. So the key is look at what your healthcare status is, speak with your doctor, and decide what is best for you. All right, and we've seen the companies come out and say that they don't want to rush on boosters because they still want to get everybody else vaccinated. But at the end of the day, if you are at risk, so that means if you have kidney disease and you're on dialysis, if you have cancer, you're on oncology, if you have more than 2 or 3 non-communicable diseases and are obese, those are the things. Those are risk factors. All right, so you have to look at that.
This final text here, this is a special one just for you, Dr. Smith. I don't know who paid this person, they're talking about you, to be a mouthpiece for the devils at the CDC, Big Pharma, and the WHO, but it is clear that he is only repeating the agenda from the machine that is pushing this satanic agenda. A doctor in Africa used ivermectin on over 7,000 patients, not one death. Isn't that enough, or is that enough?
Okay, well, that doctor needs to report his studies because it ain't on my list. And I just looked at it this morning before I came up. Two things. I'm a born-again Christian, but I'm a scientist, okay? And so let's not, and yeah, you can get all this stuff in the conspiracy theories and everything else. At the end of the day, here's the thing. If anybody's paying me, my account's at Commonwealth Bank because I ain't see the money yet, okay? So I'm not a mouthpiece for anybody. And anybody who knows me from a child to now will tell you, nobody puts words in Marvin Smith's mouth. Ain't gonna happen. All right. So, but good luck to them. And I hope that, while they praying and defending themselves against satanic attacks, they also ask for wisdom. The Bible says that the Spirit will bring you into all truth. So,
All right. The questions are flying, but we've got to go. We're going to have you back. We're going to have you back when you get off vacation. How about that? Yeah.
You want to talk to me on the government time? That's what you're trying to say?
oh, I see. Yeah, we don't want okay.
Listen, if you want me to come back next week, I'll still be on vacation next week.
Okay. All right, we'll work it out. We'll work it out. And we'll get more of these. We'll save some of these, and we'll get more of these in.
All the best. Bahamas, stay healthy. Happy Pharmacist Week. Stephen, be nice to your pharmacist. No more jokes about us, all right?
I will do my best.
Okay. Thank you very much, Dr. Marvin Smith. Really appreciate it. We need to take a break. When we come back, we're going to do the drawing for the Bahamas COVID vaccination raffle. Then we have a lot to get to in Morning Blend Business. Stay with us. We'll be right back after the news. This is Morning Blend on Guardian Radio 96.9.
Thanks, guys. You take it easy.
This is Guardian Radio 96.9 FM, Nassau, Bahamas.
This is the Guardian News Network update on the hour. Public Works Minister Alfred Sayers says he has recused himself from all matters related to that investigation into the dismissal of BPL board members back in 2018. He says he has not even seen the report completed under the minister's administration last year.
Any report that would come to me would be sent to the Attorney General because clearly in that matter, I would be conflicted. I could not deliberate over a matter in which I was the lawyer outside of the government.
Sayers had acted as attorney for former BPL executive chairperson Darnell Osborne, who sued government alleging wrongful dismissal. That legal action is still pending. In other news, COVID-related deaths keep climbing as COVID hospitalizations continue to decline. Data from the Ministry of Health Wednesday confirmed 4 more persons have died as a result of the virus. 3 residents of New Providence who passed away in September, and a 72-year-old man from Grand Bahama who died October 6th. Total COVID deaths now number 630. There were also 62 new COVID infections recorded Wednesday, and hospitalizations are down to 109. And the government expects to resume administering first doses of the Pfizer vaccine as early as today, now that more doses are in country. Just over 57,000 doses of that vaccine from the COVAX facility arrived in country yesterday. Health Minister Dr. Michael Darble says local demand for the Pfizer vaccine is on the rise, and that's a good thing for the country. That's what's making headlines at this hour. Stay with us. AP Update is next.
And it is about that time for the drawing of the Bahamas COVID vaccination raffle. We've got 2 more great prizes for today and 2 great winners going to be named in just a moment. Remember, you can enter to win prizes. We're drawing names every day here on Morning Blend. All you have to do is register if you are vaccinated or even partially vaccinated or vaccinated abroad on vaxbahamas.com. Vaxbahamas.com. Today we've got two great prizes. We've got a $500 gift card to Cost Right. Wow. $500 gift card to Cost Right. And then we've got a Bahamas Waste garbage bin. All right. So that's some great prizes for this morning. Let's give away that garbage bin first. Bahamas Waste, great company. Bahamas Waste garbage bin. The winner this morning, Christoph Roll. Christoph with a K, Kristoff, Roll. Congratulations, you've won that Bahamas Waste garbage bin, and the U.S. Embassy is going to be in contact with you to tell you exactly which Christoph Roll. There are quite a few of those rolls there. So, but congratulations to that Christoph Roll. You'll be hearing which one you are this morning from the U.S. Embassy. Okay, the other prize, the $500 gift card, Stephen. This is boy, you could do some serious things with that. $500 gift card to Cost Right. The winner is Lavan Johnson, or Lavan, I don't know how you pronounce it. Lavan Johnson. You are the winner of the $500 gift card to Cost Right. Congratulations to you. That is some great stuff. Again, the U.S. Embassy is going to be in contact with you. Congratulations to both of you. And remember, you could be the person I call next. Register vaxbahamas.com to be a part of the Bahamas COVID vaccination raffle. And this wonderful initiative the U.S. Embassy has organized. And it's
got all that
very
new
exciting.
vaccine.
Yeah, there's
You got all
more vaccine in there too, so more people can be a part of this. And yeah, great stuff. Okay, we're going to take a quick break. When we come back, it's Morning Blend Business. A lot to get to this morning. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
It's a celebration. It's a celebration.
This is Guardian Radio, your station for up-to-the-minute news, intelligent, interactive, and engaging conversation. 96.9 FM. The views and opinions of the hosts and guests are their own and do not necessarily reflect the position of the management and staff of Guardian Network.
Wake up, today. Wake up, it's a new
Good morning and welcome to Morning Blend Business on this Friday, October 22nd, 2021. Welcome back to our Morning Blend listeners. Once again, I'm Dwight Strawn along with Stephen Hanna on this Friday. And this morning we've got a lot to get to in this edition of the show. We begin with the University of the West Indies School of Clinical Medicine and Research, partnering with RBC on research. And here to tell us all about this, we're very pleased to welcome Dr. Indira Grimes. Good morning, Dr. Grimes. Great to have you with us.
Hi, good morning, Dwight. Thank you for having us. Appreciate it.
All right, this is exciting. This is exciting stuff. Let's talk about this. What's happening here, and what are we going to be researching? Because we know there's a critical need for it in this country. But let's get it from your perspective. What we're talking about today.
Sure. So the University of the West Indies School of Clinical Medicine and Research, in partnership with the Royal Bank of Canada, is hosting its 15th annual Research Day, or in this case, days. It will be held Monday, October 25th through to Thursday, October 28th in the evening, starting at 6 p.m. So it'll be 2 hours every day. And what we'll be featuring is local experts and local researchers' work on research in various topics of health specialties, including obstetrics and gynecology, family medicine, pediatrics, accident and emergency surgery, and community health. So many of the specialties will be featuring their local research on various health topics, including COVID-19, including effects of what Dorian has had on the mental health in the country, et cetera. That's just to name a few of the topics that will be focused on. And as I said, this is our 15th, and because of COVID protocols, it's being hosted as a webinar. And persons would be able to register on the website conferences.sunshine.learner, which is one word, .com. So conferences.sunshine.learner.com. There will be opportunities to register so that persons could tune in on any day and listen to the presentations being given. Also, for those medical professionals, the conference will award continuing medical education credits, which we all know as healthcare professionals is important towards our annual licensing requirements. So we hope that we'll get the community as well as our healthcare professionals in different entities, private and public, to join in and support this year, as they have always in previous years. And we thank Royal Bank of Canada for being our inaugural sponsor and for continuing the relationship with us for the last 15 years.
Yeah. Some great stuff. All right, so many questions. The research, this was all done in the Bahamas, or is it regional? What can you tell us about that?
Well, it's a bit of both. Mostly it's local, but there will be some regional information that will be shared as well. And we have special guests who will be giving talks. So they will be bringing some regional information. But the majority of the research that will be highlighted is local.
Right. What can you tell us about, especially the COVID, since we've been talking about that all morning? What do you know? What angle they're looking at it from? Any indication at this point as to what we might expect from that?
Well, we are looking at aspects of vaccination status among hospital admissions and its relation to COVID deaths at Princess Margaret. That's one of the topics with COVID. Also updates on the pandemic and how it's affected the Bahamas and the future directions in terms of preventing something like this from happening again, or what we can do to stave off to help the COVID pandemic to resolve. So these are some of the topics. There will be also mental health aspects that will be focused on. They'll be looking also at the impact of COVID-19 on pregnancy. So there are some very timely topics related to COVID-19, very cutting edge, because this is in keeping with what research is being done worldwide.
Yeah.
Can you give us any sneak peek to the data, or?
No, unfortunately, I can't because I'm not one of the specific presenters on those topics, and so I will allow those presenters to reveal their data that they work so hard to gather. So, and we are getting perspectives not only from Princess Margaret Hospital, but the Rand Memorial Hospital. So we're seeing what's happening in the other islands of the Bahamas as well through this research conference.
Now, Dr. Grams, I don't know if you're aware of this, but unfortunately, the narrative in the country, especially on talk shows, people call and say these things all the time, that there isn't research going on, that we aren't looking at these things. So clear that up. How much research is actually taking place here? And give us an idea as to the levels where we are at.
Well, research is ongoing. We have doctors who are training in their specialties, who are doing research as a part of the requirements of their training. And we also have those who are far beyond completion of their training, who continue to be involved in producing research as a regular part of their practice. And so the University of the West Indies School of Clinical Medicine and Research, and I emphasize research, that is one of their main goals. At least 50% of the work is about research. And we have published in journals, regional and international journals, as well as presented some of this research internationally. So, this conference is one way that we can put the public awareness out there that we are doing research, that data is being collected, that we have numbers. And these things are shared with the Ministry of Health and other regional entities such as PAHO. They lean on the various departments to share their research and their data so that they understand what's happening in our country. So the information is not just kept in a locked box. And the conference is one way that even the general public can learn more about what we're doing.
Yeah, I was going to ask you if we have, as you said, this is the 15th time that it has influenced policy in the country. But you say it definitely goes to the ministries. Okay, that is good stuff. So again, you mentioned you have to register. Is there a cost to being a part of this? How do people do that, and what's entailed?
There is no cost. As far as I'm aware, there's no cost. I looked on the website up until last night, don't see a charge. So there's a conference that you go on https:// all of that, conferences.sunshinelearner.com. And then you'll see a page that has a big red icon that says register, and you take it from there. And you'll be provided the links to the webinar days. So as I said, this is going on from October 25th through to October 28th. So that's Monday through Thursday of next week. And the times it'll run is about 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. Every night on those days. And so we hope persons will tune in. Each day will feature a different specialty. So day 1 will be obstetrics and gynecology topics. Day 2 will be family medicine. Day 3 will focus on pediatrics and emergency medicine. And then we have general medicine topics on the last day, day 4. But there's a whole heap of information on the medical specialties and what they're doing in their various areas with regard to research. And it's not just about COVID, but we're dealing with the chronic medical problems that affect this country, such as hypertension and stroke and heart disease, as well as other concerns that persons want to learn more about. And as I said, we have a big topic on how Dorian affected our mental health and that change. That's on day 2. That's one of our special talks. So it's a lot to learn, a lot of information to be shared. And like I said, without Royal Bank of Canada, this opportunity, this conference could not be possible. They have stayed with us throughout the years, and we appreciate their continued support.
Yeah. Let me ask you, if someone had an idea for a study, for something to be researched, is the university open to that? How would that work?
Yes, we would be open to that. We do collaborate with the University of the Bahamas, as well as I said, the Ministry of Health, and we have a research committee that has representatives from all these areas, not just the hospitals, but also other research groups. So I would say that if persons wanted to share their research or highlight their research on a future research day, that they should contact the School of Clinical Medicine and Research for University of West Indies and down at the Princess Margaret Hospital. You can also go on the Sunshine Learner website to see contacts and emails. You can get in contact with our director, Dr. Robin Roberts, who would be happy to include what other research is going on in the Bahamas, because we do need to highlight this. Research is very important for us to understand what's happening in our country, our behavioral patterns, our health issues, and how to, from research, we can learn how to manage them better.
Yeah, absolutely. All right. So Dr. Indira Grimes, thank you so much. Research Days with the University of the West Indies School of Clinical Medicine and Research. And thank you so much for being here. And thank you to RBC for what they've done for this as well. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday next week. So
That's right.
A lot to learn. And I'm sure
Yes.
we'll be talking about some of the findings in the days to come.
Thank you. Thank you very much for having us.
Not a problem at all. Thank you very much. All right, we're going to take a break here on Morning Blend Business. When we come back, if you are in the market, if you're a young professional, and we're really hoping that the Prospect Ridge project
when it doesn't work,
when
it doesn't work, what to do? Just phrase the question, the setup correctly. Don't be like, well, if it doesn't work, what might happen?
We're keeping the hope alive.
When it fails and falls apart.
Oh dear.
I stopped having faith in it a long time ago, Dwight.
The other options that are open to you, we're going to be getting into that with Brian Austin, leading real estate agent.
The answer may shock you.
Ria, coming up after the break. This is Morning Blend Business on Guardian Radio 96.9. Stay with us.
Hey, you know what's going down tomorrow? Nobody what happening? Joe bringing me nice to school. He could do Nguyen. For what? Wait, he fooled with Joe girl. Mother sick. And you know Nguyen, you don't back down for nothing. So that means you got a big fight tomorrow. So whose side you want? Side? I trying to stay in school, not Simpson Penn. We gotta tell somebody about this fight. Tell somebody? I ain't no snitch. I mean cool, you know. Wait, if you so cool, then you need to stay in school and stay out of the fight. Yeah, but if I don't hang on Joe's side, how many boys coming for me next? All right, so we definitely gotta tell somebody. We gotta prevent the fight. What I say, I don't want nobody call me snitch. We could just call Crime Stoppers. You could report what you know, and nobody gotta know it's you. So how did I avoid? All you gotta do is call them or you text them through the Crack Crime Bahamas app, and nobody can know it's you. Then the police come looking for me for more info, and when they finish with them, Joe them coming looking for me? When you call Crime Stoppers, the call go directly to Miami, and they don't ask nothing about you. Then if you get the pen from them, and they can claim a reward later using that same pen. Plus, everything's scrambled, so nobody can read what you're saying. Call 328-8477 from Nassau or 242-300-8477 from the Family Islands. This traffic report is brought to you by Shield Insurance and Prudential Loss Adjusters.
Final look at traffic this morning in the southwest gateway to the city on what they are. All stacked and still with slow rides getting out. Traffic still stuck on Gladstone Road, Samalabala Highway, and back to Ponca Michael Road, too. Mother Road has been slow for about the past hour, and it's still that way for traffic that's leaving through that Wolf Road traffic light area. Bumper to bumper ride out over there. That Wolf, Soldier, Brennan, and Village Road traffic light intersection slowing things down. The traffic on all sides has hefty traffic coming in from Soldier Road, for example, on the north lane. So expect some wait time on that ride over there. Morning Marathon Road, slow ride traffic gets there. Although Wolf Road hasn't quite built up that slow stop and go busy traffic as yet. It's the Eastern Road, though, where traffic is still slow getting out of there. So you got a lazy traffic line over there coming on to Shirley Street. Center of the island, still where it's busy, though, coming out of the south using East Street slows you once you get across the Soldier Road intersection. Independence Highway, the west lane there, back to if it's a slow ride getting to the Blue Hill Road, roundabout. Road, the morning commute traffic has that area slowed right down, especially between East Street and Abundant Life Road. That's what traffic is looking like at the moment. This national traffic report this all being brought God Eden, that's delicious human breakfast every day from 7:30 lasting until 3 in the afternoon. Today they've got peas and grits and snapper with 2 sides for lunch on the menu. So call them at 819-5574. That's 819-5574 for easy directions and to make your order. With your right sky look at traffic in real time, I'm BANN.
Michael was in a horrible car accident. Prudential loss adjusters managed his claim and got him the settlement he deserved. Sierra's roof received hurricane damage. Thanks to Prudential, she and her kids are happy with their claim settlement. Tammy fractured her ankle in a slip and fall. Prudential saved her time, money, and peace of mind. Prudential loss adjusters are here for you whenever a tragedy strikes. Call 322-4026 now.
Protect the things that really matter to you. Shield Insurance is the insurance company that grows with you to meet your insurance needs through this beautiful adventure we call life. From automobile to home to life and health, boat, liability, construction, and business insurance, Shield has affordable policies, flexible options, friendly service, and the expertise to protect your hard-earned assets. Shield Insurance agents and brokers in Nassau, call 356-7202 or Freeport 352-5945.
Earning zero interest on your savings at the bank? With as little as $100, you can start earning interest on your money while you're sleeping, eating, or standing in line at the bank with the CFAL Savings Express Plan. Because at CFAL, your interest is our interest. Call us at 502-7010 or visit cfal.com to start now. CFAL, growing wealth for future generations of Bahamians.
You have a new text message from Scotia.
Scotiabank is adding text messaging to its communication channels to keep customers updated in quicker and safer ways. As of November 4th, Scotiabank will be using text messaging to provide notifications on the minimum payment required for your credit card and due dates. Customers may continue to access their credit card statements on Scotia Online or through our mobile banking app. Learn more by contacting customer care-bahamas at scotiabank.com or call 356-1697.
This is Guardian Radio 96.9 FM. Fresh news, smart talk, all day.
It is time for your morning business report, brought to you by CFAL. Minister of Works and Utilities Alfred Sayers, QC, saying that he's gearing up to meet with Shell North America after months of stalled negotiations for the company to take over power production on New Providence. BPL signed a memorandum of understanding with Shell Gas and Power Development BV in November 2018 to formalize the negotiation process to build a liquefied natural gas pipeline and take over 2 BPL stations. However, talks have dragged on and further lingered during the COVID-19 pandemic. Here it says the meeting with Shell within 2 weeks, and that based on a briefing he's received, there's a long process. It's been a long process of negotiation between BPL and Shell. And connected to that is a proposal by BPL to place a rate reduction bond near $600 million. He says, as this is only their 4th week in office, they're reviewing all the issues of the rate reduction bond. And you can get more information about what he's saying in today's Guardian business section. Meanwhile, Save the Bay's chairman, Joseph Darville, he's calling on Prime Minister Philip Davis to scrap Royal Caribbean Cruise Line's plan to develop a Royal Beach Club on a portion of Paradise Island, citing the PLP's emphasis on environmental conservation and Davis's threat to pull the cruise line's Crown Land lease while he was in opposition. Darville says he and his environmental group hope to see these commitments come to fruition in the form of policy and legislation. Grand Bahama Power Company has provided more details on its filed rate application and how its proposed rate adjustments would impact its customers, noting that the average all-in rate increase for all of its customers is projected to be about 4%. GBPC says some of its customers would likely see rate declines. Others would see no change in rates, and other groups would see proposed increases of various amounts depending on usage. GBPC is proposing a 3.2% decrease in base rates for residential customers that consume fewer than 200 kilowatt hours per month. Power companies say that that would impact about 18% of its customers. It says that for residential customers consuming 201 to 350 kilowatt hours per month, there is no change in base rates proposed. They say that this segment represents about 24% of residential customers, and those consuming between 351 to 800 kilowatt hours per month represents about 32% of customers, and that they will see base increases ranging from 1% to 7.5%. Customers consuming more than 800 kilowatt hours per month will experience a base increase of 7.5% to 8.9%, representing 26% of residential customers. Other customer classes, general service large customers will experience increases of 3.5% to 4%, and commercial customers will see an across-the-board increase of 4.4%. Now, the company applied to the Grand Bahama Port Authority on September 23rd for a tariff application. The power company noted that it hasn't filed a rate application since 2015, and given its challenges after Hurricane Matthew and Dorian, a rate adjustment is necessary. In your market watch recapping trading on the BISX, from Thursday, your market movers, Bank of the Bahamas moving 2,600 shares, up 8 cents to 210. Cable Bahamas moving 4,584, unchanged at 315. Commonwealth Bank moving 25,000, down 15 cents to 260. FamGuard moving 1,895, up 35 cents to $10. Consolidated Water down 1 cent, closing at 224. Emir Incorporated down 3 cents, closing at 1157. The BISX All Share Index closing at 2,081.12, down 17.55. That's your Market Watch, and that is your morning business report brought to you by CFAL, growing wealth for future generations. We are back with Morning Blend Business on Guardian Radio 96.9. Dwight Strong with Stephen Hanna. And this morning we're talking about that Prospect Ridge development for young professionals. Things are looking very shaky as the ground, we're told, the project was going to be put on.
Shaky?
Well, it's looking shakier than ever before. Our guest real estate agent, Brian Austin, is here. He is also a director with BRIA, the Bahamas Real Estate Association. And Brian, great to have you with us again. Welcome back to the show.
It's great to be here, Dwight. Thank you for having me.
Okay, so Stephen's being very, very doom and gloomy, but is it really that bad?
What?
No. Is it really that bad? Should all hope be lost here? I mean, I know you can't speak for the government, but does it look, from your perspective, knowing this, you've been in the industry for quite a while, how does this look to you?
It looks bad from the aspect of what they were trying to offer, from what's in the kitty, from the indications that the new Minister of Housing has been given, about the brief indications, and you kind of read between the lines. It's like it's gonna take a lot to get this thing mobilized, to get the infrastructure in. She said that it's pricey to say this might not be likely. Pricey means not likely right now in the Bahamas. So, but having said that, I do have faith in Joe Beth being a millennial, and not to push that down anyone's throat. I do believe that she is out to please. I do believe that she is out to make a mark and to impress. So I think she's going to do her best. So I think she's going to do her best to do something with that project. However, the cookie crumbles. It might not be in this term, but it might be a new day part 2. Maybe, who knows?
Oh gosh, wow. So if you were in that category, because it was the age restrictions there, but if you were a young person, you were hoping this would be your chance to finally afford something in New Providence. I mean, this is very discouraging. What do you do?
Well, I think the government, for one, what do you do? I do believe a lot of the people that I knew were overqualified for this project. to be honest with you. They were overqualified in relation to their ability to get a mortgage for sort of a regular property, so to speak, from the bank. So, a lot of people, a few of my clients, they stopped what sales we had going on in favor of this project because this project limited it to your first purchase. So they kind of wanted to get in on something as sweet as the government was offering. So I do believe there is a recourse for people, for a lot of people. I'm not saying that is the vast majority, but for a lot of people that would have tried to get in on this, there is a recourse. They can say, oh, well, it was a wild card anyway. Let's go on to plan B. But for others, I do believe that a lot of people still were overstepping and overreaching and not necessarily had the necessary knowledge to be able to complete. You can get the line, yeah. So a lot of people would have probably gotten the property, but to be able to complete the property to spec based on the requirements the government had, you had to be completed, I think, within 2 years of purchasing the property. So the whole community should have been 100% developed in 2 to 3 years. What's the likelihood of everyone's money lining up that way? Everyone keeping their job. It could have been a disaster, to be honest with you, under those sort of restrictions.
Wow. Oh boy. Okay. So it's interesting what you said. A lot of the people, were overqualified, which means they may be
straight
okay
anyway.
Right. But
yeah,
we know the land prices aren't going down.
not.
I mean, and the options out there,
What-
they're limited. What is out there? What can you do?
Well, I think the original price offering was around the $45,000 mark. In Nassau, that's not going to get you anything or anywhere where you want to be.
Right.
There's right now, according to our multiple listing service, about 9 lots under 45,000 in New Providence. But
9, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. That's it.
What
8,
is
9. Yeah.
Actually, don't
There's
say it
no-
aloud. Type it in the chat. Listen,
You know what?
I'm okay with.
There's at least 20 lots that smell like 45,000 because the other lots that's 65, the other lots that's 55. In this industry we say smell like, because if a customer says, listen, I'm looking for this, you always give them the properties that's a little bit over because you don't want them to lose out on something that's just out of their range that they might be able to offer within their range.
Right. Let me, because I know Dwight is gonna beat around the bush. Dwight is a rich gentleman. He has like 3 condominiums, so this doesn't really concern him as much as it concerns the rest of us, right? Now,
Stephen is a politician. You have to take everything he says with a grain of salt.
We know that. Let's pretend as though this entire, fire sale of property by the government is going to fall through. You say there are 9 lots on the listing for around that price, 45,000, and they are in less than desirable location. You're talking about New Providence, I'm guessing.
Yes.
All right. So I see a lot of persons nowadays flipping properties inside what persons would refer to as the inner city, and that they're making them into either efficiencies or almost like closed off. They're not condominiums. They're like little weird shaped apartments and stuff. Is that something that you see the country moving forward in doing in terms of trends because of the limited space or the limit, not necessarily space, availability of property in New Providence? Do you see that being like the trend where, like in the States, one day it's like, oh, this is the ghetto, and the next day it's gentrified? Do you see something like that happening inside New Providence?
I don't see gentrification happening in the inner city. No, that's never going to happen. The point being is
never.
If the government, no, I don't. I would say never. To if we're talking real inner city, I don't see gentrification. What Stephen alluded to before is people using their properties for multiple purposes, or making their properties either into one commercial, like I can do my hair and nails out of this, and also my homestead, and then I can live in the back, something like that. So Stephen brought up a great point, because I do believe that the government now has a great opportunity to test a part of what they wanted to do. Number one, when it comes to the inner city properties, they can specify a zone so that they can now say, well, what we're going to do is we're going to allow Bahamas Power and Light to work with you and give you a second meter if at your homestead you want to build something else in the back. So we're going to give you a second meter so that works out for you. Or if your parents already gave you the old homestead and now you want to get some income coming in, you can build something extra. We're going to give you a second meter. We're going to allow you to get a second water meter. So then your tenants can pay their own utilities. That would be a great help. Also, when it comes to building like that, you have to be careful, because then now you may overbuild on the property, and what we say in appraisals is it's called functional obsolescence, whereas you might overbuild on any particular portion of property, and if you ever want to sell that, you may not necessarily get the value in dollars as it relates to replacement costs. So that is something that I would say consult your friendly realtor about.
Mhm. I want to get back to those 9 properties you mentioned. Which part of Harold Pond or Lake, whatever,
No,
are they located
they're
in?
not located by any water. You will not see,
No,
if you see a
in
water
the water,
feature,
not by, in the water.
you still won't, because anytime, if you could see the ocean, then it is not going to be 45,000. I promise you. It's
Not
going to be
ocean,
60.
under the water.
If you can see
and
any
sure,
water,
this has got to be swampland.
you
right?
can't get Pinewood property for 45,000.
So what are you talking about?
No,
then,
you
Brian?
for sure can get Pinewood property
No.
for 45,000.
Well,
So
listen,
Stephen,
put it inside the chat. Put it in the
economic
chat. Put it in the chat.
economic factors, supply and demand. So Pinewood has some supply and very little demand because of the stereotype of Pinewood. So yes, you can get it. Many properties have come and gone in Pinewood that never sold. And if owners are being real with themselves, then they would probably sell them for around that price. They just would,
but they're not
asking a little bit more.
Right.
Yeah, I'm showing at least one property in Pinewood at that price. Yes.
Really?
But they're all inner city properties. Yeah. I mean, you want to buy something in Pinewood, Stephen?
I mean, my original plan was to build in Pinewood and grow rice in the front and shrimp in the back. Like, you got to work with what you got, bro.
The neighbors would have loved you.
Listen, I there's properties in Engliston and off East Street and Fox Hill.
Right. Those are the ones I'm thinking of when you say 45,000. But I've seen also development in Fox Hill specifically, where persons they're building for young single persons to occupy these the buildings. It's like a duplex, but instead of the doors facing the road, the doors they run it at a right angle with the road, and then they have like automatic gates that lock to get to the doors of the building. But like I've seen where people are like redeveloping the inner city slowly as persons sell the properties there. So like that was my reason for when I say gentrification, I don't mean necessarily pricing out the existing occupants. I mean gentrification in terms of like the straight dictionary definition in me, and where it's like, you drive through these areas and all of a sudden you're like, well, that is a very nice house, or that's a very nice apartment like in this area. And so
so I think what you're mostly referring to is once somebody does something like that, it kind of sparks the imagination and it can create demand for somebody else that might be able to say, oh wait, you know what, if this is on the market or something like this comes on the market, I can flip it and do something similar to that person. And now the area is becoming rejuvenated because of newer properties. And like I said, I do believe that there is a portion of the initial concessions that the government was given that the new Minister of Housing and her team can look into. One, I mean, the big portion is all of the concessions that were being given just now, the country is broke right now. Just give those concessions without having to develop land. Just give those concessions, period. And just say, okay, well, you know what, find the land on your own, and we give you these concessions. That's all you got to do. I mean, yeah, you're going to cut out some of the people, but not by that much. When I talk about the people, the lumber yards and things of that nature, if somebody's going to be able to bring in lumber duty free or whatsoever, but not by that much. If you care about your young population, and now you can put it across the entire board, you don't necessarily have to, corner in one segment of people, which was a big issue the last time. I mean, it started to become an issue. I didn't see why, but everyone has their own feelings. Anyone that would have done what they needed to do to get their property and then just came right out of that age range were upset.
I mean, but that's like older siblings upset because the younger sibling don't have a curfew or something. Like, I mean, it is what it is.
Right.
Like,
yeah, understood.
All right. So if you have any questions for Brian Austin, give us a call 323-6232, 325-4316, or 325-4259. You can also tweet us, Facebook us, or text us 422-4796.
Brian, so let me a quick question. Right. So like a lot of times around, and then, money, it's a difficult thing. Right. And so around town on occasion, every couple of years, you see it pop up, these rent to own situations. As a person in real estate, what's your opinion on that? Is that something that persons should be looking into? Should they avoid that?
Okay, well,
do
I give you 2 or 3 minutes before a break? Because that's a very loaded question, and I don't mind digging into it, and I hope the whole Bahamas is listening, because quite frankly, I'm tired of talking about it. So when it comes to rent to own properties, the market has to understand, I'm an owner. Oh, let's say Dwight owns, there's 3 condos that Steven has put on him. Dwight does not want to be a bank to anybody for 10 years, 5-10 years. He doesn't want to play like the bank for that amount of time. So the point that I'm trying to make is that segment of the market is not as robust in the Bahamas because great properties sell. The reason for a rent-to-own program in many jurisdictions is because of the factors trying to create demand for our populace, and especially for our populace that might be qualified but might not be able to obtain financing through conventional means. So rent-to-own isn't necessarily the biggest deal over here, just because most people that any great properties that come to market, they're going to sell just by conventional means. The owner can let go and don't have anything to do with this particular person and have to try to come and sue them back and follow up every month for their money. I mean, it's daunting. It's daunting being a landlord. Imagine now this person having an actual vested interest in your property. So that's kind of that.
Yeah. All right. So, by the way, my power is just going off. See, this is why this just talked to BPS today, congratulating them on being able to keep it on. And here we go. Power outage. Anyway, what's out there in terms of, if you don't want to build, you're looking for a home and you want it in a decent area. I mean, what are we looking at in terms of the average transaction prices now? Has it adjusted in any way, shape, or form as a result of the pandemic? Has that done anything? Are we noticing any changes? What are you seeing?
Well, for one, the luxury market is on fire. The average price is way up there in terms of the Bahamas and the interest and the sales that would have happened in the last year. So, but when it comes to the local market, if we're focusing solely on that, the average prices have not necessarily changed. Like I was saying, great properties sell, and they are well priced, or well priced properties sell. So, me myself, I put a couple of great properties on the market. I mean, not necessarily to toot my own horn, but I say great properties. These were just really great properties for Bahamians to own. One being in Twynham, a great location that's a few meters from the beach, and that was under $400,000. That sold in a week. The last one now,
under a week.
Under a week, yeah. So because great properties sell, you don't have to worry about whether or not you're going to get a great property sold. The Bahamians, people are looking. This weekend, well, last weekend, Thursday, I put a property on for a friend on the market in Marshall Road, under $300,000. I already know this property was going to be hot, so I just chose, okay, well, this Saturday we're going to set up as many people call me to see this property. All you guys are going to see this property, and we're going to get an offer. And that's exactly what happened. I have right now 3 offers over asking for this property because great properties sell. So that property now, this is going now only into the second weekend, and nobody else can see the property. Everyone's calling now to see this property. It's a great property. I had one couple come in and said that, listen, we've been looking for the right home for 13 years, and we finally found it.
Wow.
So that's how long people are looking for. People have been looking for great properties, and as long as Bahamian homeowners that want to sell do right by their property, prepare it for market, consult with an agent to get the advice on how do I prepare, I strategically make my property look great for market and price it right. It's going to sell in no time. So there's no problem right now selling a well-priced property.
Wow. All right, we've got a call. Let's take this call. Good morning, caller. You're on Morning Blend Business.
Hi, good morning.
Hi.
Morning.
Is the gentleman representing the government or he's from a private entity?
He's a real estate agent, not representing the government at all. No. He's giving options to talking about if you're a buyer, what you can do now that this project is looking shaky.
Okay. All right. Okay. Thank you.
Do you have any questions for him? No?
No,
I actually was interested in the comment that he made with regard to the government development with people being overly qualified and persons being underqualified. And my understanding, maybe can correct me, was that the persons applying had to have been able to qualify by the bank to carry those mortgages. Am I right or no?
Yeah, no, you're completely correct. So I had a couple of friends and people that I'm close with that actually had to go through that mortgage process first. They had to get a pre-qualification letter, but that's neither here or there. Yes, you'll be able to get the property, but the pressure of building within the time frame and getting your property built to spec would have been a little bit much for people to continually bear. That's the point that I was making.
Yeah, but with all the concessions, you don't feel that would have given an added push to having those properties completed within the time?
Well, you can concess till that kingdom come, but if someone just doesn't have the money to do something, they're not going to be able to do it. So my point is with the economy, with people losing their jobs, with other things coming into play, sort of like the debt ratio, meaning somebody might have gotten pregnant, so now they have another mouth to feed. All of the concessions within the time frame of 2 years. Yes, everything in the government had proposed was great, but in a perfect world, or in reality is that a lot of people would not have been able to see it to fruition. Chances for a development to be 100% developed within 2 years is little to none. I don't care who develops it or who puts it in. Right now, to give you an example, Life and Key, Albany, all of those places are not 100% developed. Would they have liked them to be 100% developed? Probably not, because the longer they start it out and phase it out, they can make more money. But Life and Key, do you think Life and Key should be 100% developed? It's not 100% developed. Everybody hasn't built it.
I would not put Life and Key or Albany on the same plane as the development the government is attempting to develop, because of all of the various concessions. No,
okay.
All of the things have been duty free. You're looking at building a house on those properties with at least 45 to 50% lower than you would build a normal home. Am I right or wrong with all the concessions?
I don't think the contractor was going to charge you any less that they would charge someone that's right next door in the West Grove. So I don't think the cost per square foot. Yeah, you might have been able to get your sub duty.
I'm just saying.
Okay. All right.
Right.
Colin, thank you very much. I don't think we're going to agree on this matter there,
Right.
but in any event, this would have been a great problem to have. It doesn't look like this is going to be an issue, unfortunately, at all. All right. So what about the Family Islands? I know we're all here and for some reason, but should perhaps, especially now that so many of us are working virtually, should some people be considering the Family Islands, and what can be found out there?
Stephen, that's a great question. Over 300 lots under that price. Over 300 lots under that price. What was the government promising? Maybe 100 and some lots. Over 300 lots under that price. So
which islands?
Well, a bevy of islands, most of them being between Eleuthera and the Exuma. So because of the Bahama Sound lots, so the Bahama Sound development would have been, sold many moons ago in the 50s and 60s, and a lot of the owners of those properties have never ever seen the property before. They've never visited, and most times when we are looking to sell them, it's just family members that have inherited them, and they're worth nothing. So when we tell them what they're worth, most of the times, they back away. Personally, I don't even take them anymore just because it's like $5,000-$10,000, and it's not a great use of time. But I'd love to sell those properties if I could connect an owner with an actual with an individual here in the Bahamas. I would do that just to say, hey, well, this person wants to sell their property. Go ahead and work with them. $10,000. $7,000, $13,000, $15,000.
Put it in the chat. Why you we've
Okay.
Where's the chat?
Steven,
what is the chat,
I don't know what he's
Steven?
talking about. No, listen, this is a service for the behaving people, Stephen. They all need to hear what we're talking about.
Right,
Everybody
I
needs
agree.
to hear.
Everybody.
Okay. Brian Austin, how can people reach you and get in contact with you if they want more information?
I think the same everywhere, Brian.Austin, and on social media. My telephone number, 396-0016, and my email, baustin, B like boy, AUSTIN, @bahamasrealty.com.
Okay. Always a pleasure talking with you. Thank you so much for being here with us this morning. Definitely have to have you back again very soon. Brian Austin, thank you for talking
Thanks for having me,
today.
Dwight. All right, thanks, Stephen.
All
right. And folks, I see some of your messages coming in. Remember, everything you hear on the show, go follow us on social media, Facebook or Twitter. We've posted the guests there, and you can get more information, links to their site. So if you heard something over the past few days, you can go there or go to the website as well. The information's there on guardiantalkradio.com on the Morning Blend and Morning Blend business pages. So you'll be able to find everything you've heard here. Go back there and find it and listen to the shows again. So, yeah, Stephen, that's it for us today. Thank you so much for being on. I'm in the dark. I'm in the dark. Can you believe that?
It's daytime, so you could go outside. So.
Yeah, well. But anyway, everybody have a great day. Have a great weekend. And we'll be back with more Morning Blend on Monday, right here on Guardian Radio 96.9. Dwight Strong, have a great one. Stay tuned for On the Clock with Aaron Green coming up next.